Dreidel, Dreidel, Dreidel. I made it out of wood. You got 3 hours ahead of us, and I hope they're really good. There goes the Daverhood. Good morning, everybody. Welcome live on this Saturday, December 20th, 2025, to the 1012th episode of the Dave's Gone By Facebookio Podcastio Programmio of the stream with me, Dave Lefkowitz, with my darling and wonderful and amazing wife on the drum skis, and, of course, Chanukah Lama. This goes on for a bit, so, you know. Uh-huh. That's right. He spins. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so that was of course, the beloved Chanukah Lama, reminding us that I think tonight will be the 7th night of the Chanukah holiday. We were here for the day before the first night. Our last show, of course, was last.
Well, there are airport delays and flight cancellations. Why?
Another storm? Or wind gone. So yeah, we were here last week for the pre-first night of Chanukah, and happy to have you with us. We did a whole big Chanukah thing. Rabbi Sol Solomon was here. He did a Chanukah story. I think our guest was a Jewish person, so we talked to them. And what else did we do? And Rabbi Sol had a rabbinical reflection about everything that was going on. So this is sort of a leftover. Like if you make a giant pile of latkes on the first night of Chanukah, and then you're eating them 3-4 days later because they're in the fridge, and you're just reheating them in the microwave. That's what this episode of the show is going to be compared to last week. It's like Chanukah leftovers, although it's new stuff, really. But, we shot our load 7 days ago, and now we're back with more Dave's Gone By stuff. But don't expect another Chanukah spectacular. We've gone Jewy, of course, with our decorations. We've got our Chanukah bags lined up. We've got a little Mogan David there, but the rest of it is a mix of what we always do on the Dave's Gone By program. This week, that will include, first of all, the usual Greeley Times, where the Greeley Tribune, the newspaper up in northern Colorado, does a weekly column devoted to the phone calls that come into the police department from people who are saying, oh my God, there's crazy stuff going on in my neighborhood, please send a cop. And the funniest ones of those go in the paper every week. We take the funniest ones of those and turn them into a segment that we call Greeley Times. And we do that every week, and we'll do it this week too. Nothing particularly Chanukah-ish or even Jewish about that. Some of the rest of the show may be. For example, our guest in the Daverhood this week is a writer, screenwriter, and playwright by the name of Jeremy Kareken, and really came to my attention. Unfortunately, I missed his play when it was on Broadway just a couple of years ago. He co-wrote a comedy drama, sort of. I haven't read the book either, so I'm sort of extemporizing a little too much. But it was a show called Lifespan of a Fact, which basically shows how media and social media spins things so out of control and beyond their initial meaning or intended meaning that things just go nuts. And Daniel Radcliffe was in it on Broadway and got really good reviews, and unfortunately I was not in New York to see it. But Jeremy Kareken wrote it, and he and a couple of other people adapted it from the book Lifespan of a Fact. Kareken's been writing plays for years, and he's also written bunches of teleplays and screenplays, which in Hollywood and New York parlance, they get green-lighted and then they don't, and it's a project and you're paid for it, but it doesn't turn into anything, or they do a pilot and it never happens. That is the life. You live as a writer on things that don't get done, which I find just crushing, but at the same time, at least you're living as a paid writer, right? Oh, I look good. Thank you. So my wife is showing me on the phone doing Facebook to make sure that we're streaming. And I look and I'm like, hey, for me, I look pretty good. So, but he has had a Broadway show, which is a pretty major thing. He writes a lot. He's very funny. And he has written a book. No, I'll make sure. No. I don't want to confuse him with last week's playwright who wrote a book. No, he's working on some other things. He's got, sorry? His name is Jeremy Kareken, Kareken.
Jeremy Kareken.
And also, he lives in London.
Is he a chiropractic institute doctor?
He certainly is not, no.
Or should I play?
What do you mean play?
He's a playwright. Right?
Yeah, and an actor too, come to think of it. Our longtime friend of the Daverhood, Jeffrey Sweet, a playwright, had an old play of his called The Value of Names, which was done in London this past year, and Jeremy was in it. Sorry?
K-E-R-E-M-E-Y-K-E-R-I-J-N.
Kareken. Kareken.
K-E-R-E-K-E-N.
Kareken.
E-N?
Yeah. Kareken.
I like that name. Here you go. Oh, he's born in Rochester.
Yeah. He's in Iyaka. Right, okay, and here.
This is from him. I was born and raised in. What?
I got a message on my Android. I don't want to fix anything right now, so.
No.
But anyway, yeah, we'll be talking to him. A, because he's a Broadway playwright. B, because he's been a writer, a paid working writer for all these years, which I always find admirable and fascinating. And C, what's really kind of nice, and Rabbi Sol Solomon will be doing the honors talking to him, is that he posts quite a lot on social media. He's very much on Facebook. And he is, despite the tenor of the times, a staunch and proud pro-Israel Zionist. And Rabbi Sol just is over the moon about that, because basically everyone, we all know, all his friends, everybody's so left-wing and has found reasons that Israel is the greatest monster in the world for the past 2 years. But Jeremy's not. Jeremy is one of the people on the side of good who has been saying, and by the way, he's not a Trump lover. He is very much against most of everything that Trump stands for. I mentioned early times. He, he's very much left-wing on a lot of things, but not that, which both I and the rabbi find kind of wonderful. So we will be talking with Rabbi Sol Solomon. We'll be talking with Jeremy Kareken about a little bit about politics, mostly about theater, and mostly about writing, a little bit later on this 1012th episode of The Dave's Gone By Facebook, yo, podcast, yo, program, yo, of the stream. Plus, what else we're going to be talking about? We'll have story time for Chanukah. Rabbi Sol, again, doing double duty. I said duty. This time, he will be reading another Chanukah story, because we're not done with the holiday yet, right? It is the seventh night. Why are you crying?
A story for kids.
Oh, okay.
Children like stories, right? That's for kids. Isn't it a children's story? Yeah.
It might be, considering the title, which is the Parakeet named Dreidel.
Oh.
Yeah.
So we have no bird animals you could use. We have a frog and a roller toilet.
We have those birds downstairs in the vase thing with the water, but don't, the white doves that we bought.
I can bring up the
And
duck.
how many seas must they sail? What?
The duck.
The ducky, we're good. We're good. I can also go there. We got 4,000 chickens.
Oh, here we go.
And by the way, the parakeet named Dreidel, you believe it or not, this was written by, we're going to get real literary here. It's actually by Isaac Bashevis Singer.
Really?
Really? You've heard of him. He wrote
Yes.
Enemies, a Love Story, and The Family Muscat.
I'm not a dope. You heard of him.
No,
He
a lot of people...
He writes with words. Ooh, really?
Ask anybody 2 generations younger than us who any of these people are. They're not going to...
I know.
They'll know Toni Morrison. They won't know Isaac Bashevis Singer,
I don't know that.
or Sholem Aleichem, or Philip Roth, for that matter. But, anywho. So, we'll get all Chanukah-ish for the kids and for the grown-ups.
That balloon looks like a baguette.
No, we can't put that on camera. It's horrifying looking.
It looks like a really bad crumpet or.
No, it looks like some sort of organ. And I'm talking about a human organ.
It's not a kidney. It looks like part of the appendix. Like if you remove the appendix.
Now understand these balloons behind me.
Well,
As we keep
January, right? This is Target.
No, not
balloons.
We're not Jan.
These are Target balloons that I blew up with air. They have and a pump. It was a $3.
Yep.
What I did was I bought $11 for that and the wall of like glitter. Remember
Oh,
the
yeah, well,
glitter
yeah.
wall, like the
Yeah,
glitter
yeah.
wall and the balloons. And then it also came. I also bought a $3 just like a bicycle pump, but it's small. You could use it in the house and just like through gravity pump it. But look at that.
So my wife blew up these. Some of them by mouth.
No.
And some of these.
They
Did
were
some
all
couple.
the pump.
All of them.
All the yes.
Well, every single one that she did. These balloons have been here, and you've seen them week by week by week.
And there's a big one that fell off behind you that's fully.
No! When did that happen?
That's okay. I can attach it later.
Yeah.
Well, compare the difference. Show the difference.
So anyway, this balloon, as inflated as it still is, was inflated at the end of September.
Oh my God!
When we did our 1,000th episode of the show. We're on episode 1,012. 3 months later, and still half the balloons are moderately half inflated there.
The numbers stayed for a long time too. The helium numbers stayed for a long time.
Those stayed for about 3-4 weeks.
Yeah,
And
she
they were,
told you what, 2 days, didn't she?
yeah, I was thrilled. It was delightful. But check out this balloon. It looks better on camera than it does in person.
Oh.
We got here. Actually, it looks all right. Actually, it looked worse when it was lying on the floor.
No, hold up. Oh no, not that side.
Well, that's
it filled up. Let's see, turn it around. It filled up again. How did you fill it up?
Oh, that's interesting. It's taking in
You know
air.
Why? Because it's like a tire. It was cold. It was over there it was cold, and then you warmed it with your hands, and it filled up.
Ooh.
But this room is cold. They shouldn't be.
Look at this is really weird. It has just. I'm not kidding. My wife is not kidding about this. It just sort of semi-reinflated.
You want to show them the pictures of you with the other balloons too? Did you show that?
No, I haven't. No, I haven't shown any pictures today. But look at this. Is this gonna? Oh my God! You do this to a balloon? Look at this.
That's amazing. It's the body heat, yeah.
I've never heard of such. I should do this to my penis.
Really?
All right, let's take a look. No acknowledgement whatsoever of that.
I need the joke.
Oh, we showed these last time. This was outside.
You're showing all of them at once.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to poke one of them to show, but I showed this last time. They had opened. We talked about this last week. A cafe.
Last a week. We went the next week. It looked like they were run over.
Yeah, somebody
They
either
had like
popped
3
them.
of them on the floor. I mean, that didn't seem.
Well, they were outside, but still. So this was a display outside a
this
cafe.
room is cold. It gets
Yeah.
cold, so
Yeah.
Maybe I should. Maybe what I could do is like in the summer I could do a balloon business.
Oh.
You know, I could. These lasted a long time. That's proof.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of great. These were not ours, as I said. This was in front of a brand new tous les jours, which is like this chain thing that they opened about 5 miles from where we live. And 1 week they looked the balloons like this. A week later, we're walking by, and like there's 5 balloons on the curb. They're like dots. It was really tragic.
Sad.
Yeah. So these balloons.
Are you hungry?
I'm starving, dear.
Okay.
Oh, yes. For Chanukah.
Show the
Okay,
picture
get this out of
first.
here.
Here.
So,
Show the picture first. It's on the phone.
okay, so one of the really, really nice things is that there's a bagel place that we go to pretty
it's
frequently.
After we went to the.
Yeah.
Here.
Sal, hold on.
Here's this, honey. David.
Hold on. Yeah. Where? Getting hungry?
No, that was after we went to the. We needed soft food after.
Okay. Why don't you tell the story then?
Tell it.
So yeah. Yesterday was yesterday was a very nice day for one reason we can't even talk about. But in such a horrible year, we actually had some happy news yesterday, which was kind of nice. But the beginning of the day went well too. We both had a dental appointment.
We got up at like 6:30 in the morning.
To get to a dental, dentist.
And it was like rain,
8 a.m.
It was like rain.
Yeah, windy and horrible rain.
Horrible rain.
And schlepping to the dentist at 8 a.m. on a Friday.
Degrees. It was
Yeah.
50.
And so the dentist, is working on it. They have two hygienists there, so they're working on it simultaneously. It is not like a couple's massage. You are separated, so you don't hear each other scream. But we both got neither of us had cavities.
No,
we were both very, very good, happy,
Did you
lucky
have
people.
X-rays? No, you didn't.
Nope, no cavities, nothing. I look good.
Oh, but did you have X-rays?
No,
We think it's because of our new toothbrush. That's what you think.
I do.
Yeah.
I do. We're using this electric toothbrush that I complained about last time.
That's right. Yes, extensively.
But it kept us both out. Not the brush. I complained about the stand.
Oh yes, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Forgive me.
Yeah, the brush is fine. Although
Oh no, what's the new one?
it does piss me off that when did we buy this? 6 months ago, when the dentist told us to buy it.
You can't use the same toothbrush and the cookies.
Well, my wife made me throw out the toothbrush head yesterday.
Well, when the green turns yellow, give me my. No, I'll tell you here.
I know you're supposed to change the toothbrush.
When do you change your electric toothbrush Oral-B when the head turns from green to yellow? It says every 3 months.
All right.
It's a miracle. Ours lasts 6.
It's a Chanukah miracle. I used my toothbrush head for 6 months instead of 3. But my wife's like, no, you can't. It's turning yellow. You've also used it sometimes when you had a hemorrhoid, and
but it's also it was like flat, like all the bristles.
Yeah, the bristles go spritz.
Are you chewing on it?
Well, I'd get in
like
there.
A golden retriever used it. It was really good. I looked like the bristles like somebody chewed it. Like if the bristles were splayed flat. Like what are you doing? God, David.
Oh my God. Oh,
Are you going out in the yard and brushing the birds' teeth? Maybe fiddle faddle, maybe fox. Maybe that's why you like the stray cat so much. You're like, come here, kitty, I'm going to brush your teeth.
You know the thing I have about throwing away things until you literally can't use them anymore. And I was still using that brush. And it was obviously still working because I didn't have a cavity. But we tossed it.
If we did it with the full brush, you might have had it even easier.
Yeah, the cleaning was fine except for one little place.
So that's the place you got to go.
So she was like, and I was like, ah! Because there's a nerve down there.
Once or twice, too.
Did you?
Yeah, I heard you gagging.
Oh, I gagged one time.
I heard that.
That was from water.
Oh, okay.
She was using the water thing to do. It was at the end of the cleaning,
Yeah.
and the water thing, and I was like, ah! And they brought the sucker thing down there. I miss spittoons. Don't you?
No.
Because spittoons give you a break. Spittoons.
Well, she told me if you need a break, just tell me.
I know. Tap on my. It's the old Robert Klein thing from his dental routine. Like if you're in pain, tap me.
Frayed bristles splaying out.
But there's that. Robert Klein did this routine about dentists, and he said, "Now, if you're hurting, if something hurts you, just tap me." And it's like, "Oh, sure." You've got somebody holding a power drill, and you're like, "Yeah, stop!"
You know what I admire dentists about?
What?
Because a lot of times, like you swallow, you sneeze, you close your mouth. They're working in a moving target. Like they're drilling and doing this while you're moving.
No crap.
And even like I don't understand.
Could you imagine if surgeons had to do surgery while you're like,
I know.
hello?
They do cataracts like that. They say stay still, and they numb your eye. Like
yeah. Why they can't just knock you out for something?
Because they don't want to waste that.
Yeah, when I had my lip worked on in whenever, I guess I was
10.
however old I was, maybe 12, 10, 11, 12, when they repaired the thing.
Yeah.
And it was like, awake and don't move. And like, alrighty. And they're doing something to your face.
Did they put a little shield on so you couldn't see below? Oh, you
Oh,
can't.
below, I can't see my own nose.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, literally. I mean, I can see it on camera right now, but you can't see your nose. So, but they're working, and they don't have like sunglasses on me. I'm just looking, and I'm seeing
wow.
hands
Oh God.
descending on my
That's
face.
when I close my eyes at the dentist or root canal. I don't want to see it. I also
Well,
prefer to go, but I don't need to see people doing stuff.
Yeah, well, so, at some point I will, not soon, but I will do a blood test again just to see how I'm doing,
I do
and
all the
I'll be
time.
like,
That's what you did.
Don't make me look.
You sang Funky Cold with Dino when you were getting your COVID shot.
Every time I got a COVID shot, no, I would sing, I don't know why.
What were you singing?
Every time I got the COVID shot, I got 4 of these fucking things. Every time I got them, the only way I can get through it without passing out or running out the door is just by not looking, right? And kind of not even close, just like, distracting myself and singing Monty Python's Lumberjack song.
Yes.
Do not ask me why that song.
Did that bring you some comfort?
And everything like someone's been in my arm, and it's also it's in a Walgreens.
I'm okay.
And doing the line about putting on women's clothing and hanging around in bars, because that's the first, like, I put on the women's clothing and hang around in bars. Are we done yet? Are we done yet? That'll be part of the song. Is it over? Is it done? Is it in?
You should. They asked me to come get you.
Really?
Yeah. David, show them the pictures of your foodies.
All right. So how do we get on with dentist? So we were at the dentist yesterday morning. A good report. You had more of a rough time of the cleaning than I did, because you were like saying she was really getting.
No, it wasn't rough. It said, I have, so on my one side of my face, the problem is I have a pre-capped root canal. So the root canal's done.
Oh, yeah.
It's filled, but it needs to get a cap. So it needs to have the cap and the cover.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
But because it's happening there, she's got to really get in there and make it sore.
And I sleep with all the drool on that side, and I have the bite guard, and I grind my teeth. I mean, I'm a mess, but I thought she did a great job, and
yeah, and she did a fine job on me. There was only one place where she really was like, there's a bit of food there that I just can't. I'm like, okay. And she's like, I'm gonna get it. And I'm like, okay, get it.
Where was it? The front?
Yeah, it's like here, here.
Okay, so that's the part you gotta floss.
Well, I got floss everywhere, but but I was like, ooh, ooh. But the rest of it, no big deal. In and out in like half an hour.
This is a surreal moment.
Although there is this funny thing of like I got the main dentist, like the woman who owns the place, and she's like coughing, and she didn't sneeze, I don't think, but she's coughing and talking raspy like this. I'm like, do you have a cold? I'm like, yeah, that's why I'm wearing a mask. I'm like, you mean you don't always wear a mask? I mean, forget COVID. It's like dentists have been doing this for 20 years. You put on a mask when you're... Did they when we were... I don't think so. When you were a kid, did your dentist...
I don't remember. They used to tease me because I was gap-toothed, and he'd say, oh, we're going to pull your teeth, and, and all these... My dentist was a comedian, right? So,
I remember... it was my son.
Yeah.
Well, I can mention the name, but yeah.
No, but he was fine, but I don't remember a lot of, stuff.
So I'm trying to remember. I think...
But I have to tell you, your guest is watching.
Oh, that's great. Hi, Jeremy. He'll be... And, whoa. Well, no, it's late afternoon for him already. He's out in London, or middle afternoon, so...
London, UK?
Yeah. So, as a matter of fact, I have to apologize to him profusely early in the week because Rabbi Sol was taping with him the interview that we're going to show, and I don't know why, but I transposed Eastern and England time, real Greenwich time.
I've done that all the time.
And I thought, hey, it's 11 o'clock in the morning. Where is, or something? No, I thought he was going to be 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
And it was 4 o'clock his time, 11 o'clock our time.
I did that when I worked for that organization. I observed people across the U.S. and abroad. I never got time right because but everything worked out. And it's a great conversation that he had with Rabbi Sol. I'm curious to know the derivation of his name, Kareken.
Okay. Yeah, actually. He's certainly a Jewish fella.
He might be hungry, so show him your picture.
Well, here's the deal. So we get out of the dentist's office.
We had breakfast because we got up at 6.
Right. So, and also we go, it's better to go to the dentist when you have like...
And also you don't want to eat because I get nauseous, yeah.
What's that line from Stephen Wright, the comedian? Is like, he likes his dental hygienist. He thinks she's really pretty. So every time he goes to the dentist, he eats an entire box of Oreo cookies first. So he has to be there for an hour, just getting yeah. But anywho, so we decide, okay, now that we're done with the dentist and we're good boys and girls, we're going to reward ourselves by getting a bagel. Especially, Jewish holiday. We get bagels every week. It's not a big thing for us, but
we went to the place that also has omelets because we wanted softer food.
Yeah, we wanted hot food also because there's breakfast.
Really good. Well,
so
it was UK weather.
Oh yeah. But this bagel place is owned by an Italian family.
Yeah.
However, for whatever reason they do this, they have, and we're not going to, and especially Jewish. Did you find the button? Oh, it's a big box for the button. That's why. Thank you. We'll do this.
And your lasers are Hanukkah Jewish lasers.
So we go to the bagel place, or we usually pre-order online for the pick up.
I double ordered food again.
It happens. So you had breakfast and dinner.
It was delicious.
But this bagel place, which is a non-Jewish bagel place, in a neighborhood that has some Jews, but we're not Pikesville, right?
No.
But they have on the menu, special for the holiday, a Chanukah bagel. Thank you. How cool is that? How nice is that? Granted, it's a bagel place that really should have a Jewish-y theme to it, but they make a bagel specially for... Yeah, sure. Oh, here, let's see.
Don't read the name, but the town.
Yeah, okay.
It's their story.
It all started when 4 young Italian cousins who grew up in the restaurant business tasted the most delicious and authentic bagel sandwich in a little bagel shop in the heart of a town that's near us. Yeah. Different town, not the town that we go to, actually. Okay. It was an unassuming little shop with a sign that read, "Hot Bagels," on the outside. And while the location had fewer than 15 seats, we had a passion to share our positive energy with the world through food. First-generation Southern Italian family. We understand that we're not necessarily the first people that come to mind when you hear bagel shop. But with our heritage, 3 things reign supreme: family, love, and sharing passion and energy while lingering over a fresh meal with friends. It's sort of almost 4 things, but okay. We built our stores to reflect a lively...
3 in a while.
Why? Yeah, exactly. We built our stores to reflect the lively piazzas of our sunny town. I don't think you go there thinking of Italy.
No, but
the outside thing
it's friendly. It's friendly,
It is a warm and vibrant place where the smell of fresh bread and bacon fill the air. So we know this is not a frum chewy place. You'll also stop for a quick coffee or chat about life and culture while enjoying an overstuffed fresh, not overstuffed compared to Katz's, but a nice sandwich. All right. Yeah. Positive, blah blah blah. Yay.
So that they're not Jewish. That's what you want to
Check the names: Grazie, Tony, Ciro, Oriana, and Gennaro. Who, nevertheless, for this time of year...
First show the pictures.
All right, yes.
Because it looks better in the pictures.
Well, I have it in person. Hold on.
It looks better because you have the whole... You ate half
I beg your pardon?
You ate half of it, David.
So here's the... I also can show the menorah. This is...
Whatever you wish, babe.
The Chanukah bagel from this bagel shop. Here, actually, the name of the bagel shop is in the photo because it's on the wrapper. But here we go. There it is. I ordered the lightly toasted Chanukah bagel.
Let me see. Okay, now show what it looks like.
This is what it looks like. I ate one part of it because I wanted to show the rest on camera.
Wow.
Now, if I wasn't so in love with the idea of there being a Chanukah bagel, I would say that this is really kind of disgusting. There's no food that should look... If I saw this on top of a garbage can, I would go, oh my God, what happened to that bagel? How long has that been out there?
The blue perfectly right.
Yeah, it is the Jewish blue.
Yeah, it's not like a dark blue. It's great.
Here, where's the Israeli flag here? I have one of them up here. Actually, Israeli flag is a little bit darker.
Identical. It's identical.
And blue and white, at least they use white vanillin to make the rest of the bagel white. I mean, quite honestly, visually, this is disgusting. It really, really kind of is. It looks like mold has conquered this bagel. It tastes like a bagel because it's food coloring. It's perfectly fine. You want a bite?
I'm not hungry now.
Oh yeah, we just ate. Hell, I'm gonna do it. I'm
gonna
gonna
get you some butter.
No, I'm good. I'm not gonna eat the whole time. I'm just gonna have a bite symbolically for the holiday. Biting into the Chanukah bagel. No, it's delicious. It's fine.
There you go.
It is a day old. Day old. Day old. And yes, I'm Jewish. I chew with my mouth open. You don't like it? Go fuck yourself. There we go. It's a bagel.
Okay, here, let's see. Okay, I'll entertain them.
How many bites does it take to get to the bottom of a bagel? That's good. So, anyway, thank you because, it's one thing when they have bagels that are green for St. Patrick's Day that these places do, or I guess they'll have Christmas bagels that are red and maybe green and white, or I can't even imagine, but if you can imagine this, you can imagine that. And they also do, like, the pumpkin spice bagels for Halloween or for the autumn time, which, again, I'm like, they have pumpkin spice bagels. They have pumpkin bagels for, like, a month. Yeah. But I appreciate it. I really do. Particularly in these past year or two, when times have been so fraught for my peoples, it is nice when people go out of the way, and they're not Jewish, to be like, hey, happy Hanukkah, Jewish people. We're glad to have you as our patrons. Anywho, it is 9:30 in the morning, Eastern time, here in the Daverhood.
Wow.
What happened?
Michael's has a 30% off coupon. Maybe I'll get a kit.
Oh, okay.
The problem is I don't like the ones they have, but for 30% off.
For 30% off, yeah. It ended up being like $20-something, instead of $40, yeah. So check it out. What else do I have? Oh, well, before we start talking about doing all the, what else is there? I mean, what a week. What a delightful week it has been. I guess we'll get to that later. Oh, the other thing I forgot to mention that we've got Jeremy Kareken and Rabbi Sol Solomon. We've got Greeley Times. We have Rabbi Sol reading from the, what about the Dreidel? The Parakeet named Dreidel. We'll have our Colorado Limerick of the Damned, where we're going to Knolls, Colorado. And we'll have a My Sick Mind segment in which, yes, like it or not, I do have a bunch of jokes about the Reiners, just because that's the way we roll. That's the way we get through crazy, messed up shit that the world is right now. So, anywho, that bell that you just heard ringing is a reminder that we do have Greeley Times. I don't get it. Bum. Tree. Why tie a yellow ribbon?
I don't know. I was just thinking of that when you talked.
Okay. Well, we're going to tie a brown-black phone cord around the old Dave tree because it's time for Greeley Times. And this is, I keep spitting out bits of blue bagel. This is hard. It's flying out of my mouth, ladies and gentlemen. Enough. Tasty, but good. Okay. Greeley Times, we mentioned the Greeley Tribune newspaper has this weekly column. People call in, and these are absolutely real, saying, hey, please send a police officer. Something's going on in the neighborhood. And we take the best one. So Greeley Times, chicken phone, hello. A caller near a school at an unknown address said a teacher hit her car and drove away. The teacher initially stopped and agreed to pull into a parking lot to exchange information. But when the caller got in her car, the teacher drove away. Kids, watch and learn. And it's like, if you do something bad and you don't want to be caught, that's the way you do it, folks. Just agree to do something and then just get over to your car and zoom.
On the way, zoom.
Because that's what it is now. This is what we're teaching kids. Kids, you don't have to actually do the work. Just know what to tell AI. Just if you're using Copilot or ChatGPT, you have to write an essay, you have to do something. Just get the questions right, feed them in, print it out, boom. And if you get a good grade and you're not caught, that's how you get by in the world now. You get away with things. No, because it made me think. We were just watching this documentary on, it was Netflix, about the murder of this incredibly rich Jewish guy in Monaco.
Oh, Safra.
Yeah, Edmund Safra in Monaco. There's this wild documentary where they pin it on this one guy who has, shall we say, a shaky relationship with the truth. And he just manages to be...
That's a good way of saying it.
Yeah, in the wrong place at the wrong time, and everything's pinned on him.
Every time. And he escaped from a Monaco jail. How do you do that?
And he really did. He's not telling, because there's another guy who's backing up his story on that.
He's saying the same thing, yeah.
But it's just this wild story of whether he was guilty. I mean, no question he's partially guilty. But at the same time, it's like, why did the fire department take 2 hours to put out this thing in this guy who is worth billions of dollars?
I know.
Living in a fortress, a beautiful mansion fortress in Monaco.
It was called Le Belle Epoque.
Oh, was that Belle Epoque kind of?
No, it was called Belle Epoque. That's what they named it. The Belle Epoque, baby.
And the documentary also casts aspersions on the dead guy's wife, essentially saying that anything that even comes close to touching her.
Well, that woman wrote a book about it, and she banned the book.
Yeah, there's this woman. She died in 2022. But the basic idea is, and it made me think, especially at like my age, it's not having unbelievable amounts of money, which this woman does as the widow of him and a former widow of another guy who died under strange circumstances. So she was worth also well over $1 billion. And it's not, at a certain point, about being able to travel or go to the best restaurants or live in a fantastic 50-room mansion that you don't really... Money is really in this world now about making things go away. That's the beauty of having money. That's what the documentary proves. This older woman, this widow, anytime somebody wants to write a book about her, she manages to get it banned. Somebody wants to do a lawsuit about her or against her, she somehow writes a check, and that person is now living in a one-bedroom apartment in Manhattan, fully paid for.
No. It was the mother of the guy, the mother of the nurse who was accused, was convicted, and then she brought a lawsuit against them because she said she was kidnapped by the wife.
Oh, the wife of the
wife, and then she ended up. Well, they always had money trouble. She was living in a house, a $300 house at the time, which was a lot for her and her kids.
Yeah, and then suddenly she's living in a $350,000 New York apartment. Where did the money come from? So it's sort of like, but that is, I think, the idea of the world we live in. If you have the money, it's about you can't be touched, right? And things will go away.
That show, because he was touched.
Who? Well, he got. Yeah, the widow wasn't. He obviously wasn't a horrible.
Well, they painted her out to be like a black widow.
A
lot of the husbands died, and then the one woman from the Post, the reporter who wrote the book about her, she banned the book. She fought the reporter.
Yeah, exactly.
Because she didn't want.
But look at Epstein. Look at Cosby.
They just released the pictures.
Yeah, pictures. So what? So what? Epstein's dead. Cosby's not dead.
How can we see the Epstein files?
And they apparently redacted like 500 pages that are completely blacked out. So who knows what the hell's on those? So, but I'm just saying there's a certain level of, there's a problem, throw money at it. Oh, wow. That's what money's really all about. It's not even buying you the good things and the best. I mean, maybe it is. Or if I were in my 20s or 30s, maybe it is. But money is really just about, I never have to worry about paying the mortgage. I never have to worry about this. Never somebody comes at me. Someone gives me a problem.
Search the library.
Problems go away.
Search, that's the files, the federal government's files for
Well,
Epstein.
everybody's putting in Clinton or Trump,
Yes,
you know.
Yeah, I saw those.
Let's put in, hold on, Gilbert Gottfried.
Oh, no.
Let's see if there's any pictures of Gilbert Gottfried in the Epstein files. I mean, he's dead. It's not, no results found.
So try somebody else. Who else do you know? Like, who else do you think?
Let's see, David Lefkowitz. Let's see. Well, a lot of people have my name, so maybe, let's see if I'm in there.
I hope not.
I hope not, too. Well, no, I'm going to have fun. No,
Try,
not there.
Woody Allen.
Oh, Woody Allen did know Jeffrey Epstein.
What about Bob Dylan?
Let's see if Woody Allen's in the files there. Search. Oh, people. Woody Allen, Bill Clinton, Naomi Campbell, Al Gore, Sarah Ferguson, Robert Maxwell, sure, Donald Trump, Heidi Klum. I mean, everybody knew this man. You can pin something on Clinton, but everybody was taking pictures with this man because he was donating $4 zillion to productions and causes and things. You can't, I know it's guilt by association, but it's merely association, unless you prove otherwise. Not to mention, who knows how many photographs now can be drummed up through AI, where you could put, Ulysses S. Grant next to.
These are not those, though.
No, I mean, again, these will be real, but who knows now? Oh, in fact, this brings up. I know we're in the middle of Greeley times, but this brings up another thing I've talked about. Have you seen this photo on your Facebook feeds, folks? A little bit of alliteration there. So many, many years ago, Mel Brooks posed for a photo with Carl Reiner. And he and Carl were the best of buddies. I mean, it wasn't just the 2,000-year-old man. They were great best friends. And towards the end of Reiner's life, he and Brooks they would have dinner almost every night together. They'd go to Brooks's house. They have a meal cooked up for them. Carl Reiner was on this program. He talked about his friendship with Mel Brooks and so forth. So there's a beautiful picture of the two of them with their heads together. It's a black and white photo. It's just this one of the greatest show business photos ever, right? Real photo. Now, if you just looked on Facebook the last 2 or 3 days, there's a picture, a very touching picture of Mel Brooks holding a framed photo of himself and Rob Reiner, Carl's kid, and he got along great with Rob and all that. Mel just sitting there holding Rob Reiner, and Mel's just sobbing, right? I'm 90% is fucking AI.
Mel Brooks photo crying over Rob Reiner's death. Oh, it's this one?
Is he holding the framed photo of?
Yeah. This one, right?
Now, I have no doubt that Mel is really upset and distraught. I mean, not only did he lose Carl a couple of years ago, just from age, but the manner and shock of.
It's this, right?
Of Carl's son. Yes.
But I don't know. It went away. I don't know how to.
So people are reacting to this picture of Mel Brooks holding.
Is the picture of Mel Brooks holding Carl Reiner's picture crying real? Oh, wait, hold on. I gotta ask AI. Is the picture of Mel Brooks holding Rob Reiner's photo crying real? Thinking. It's not authenticated.
No, I'm, because Mel Brooks has been on social media, or he has people post for him. He is on social media. He's alive and well. He's like 99 something years old.
Golden era Hollywood.
But I am guessing from the look of it and from Mel looking probably 5 years younger than he is right now.
There's a community note written on it. Can you read that?
Yeah. The photo Mel Brooks appears to be holding is a real image of Carl Reiner and his son.
Yeah.
So the picture that Mel is, I've got to show the picture, of course. Thank you for getting that on the phone, by the way.
I didn't know what it was.
So the picture that Mel is holding there is a real picture of Mel and Rob Reiner, right? The picture of an elderly male, Gesundheit, holding the frame photo, has signs of AI manipulation.
What?
And search results show that this specific image originating from a credible news source or event that it does not emerge from a credible Gesundheit news source. The image was created to look like a response to Rob's death, but it is a fabricated post.
And that's what AI telling you that.
No, that's the beautiful loop that we're in. But that pisses me off so fucking much. If I tell you, not being able to trust the stories and the imagery that are out there. Because I have no doubt that Mel Brooks is upset and that it was a rough week for him.
Yeah, but even the tears look weird. It looks
I know, the tears look fake, which was an immediate clue.
Yeah, it looks like he's got like
glycerin.
Like pimple popper. You know,
yeah.
Yeah.
And this ties into something that happened about a week earlier when I read a Facebook feed, a story that was shared by a press agent that I've known for 35, 40 years. Very nice lady. And she shared this lovely story about Alan Alda, and I think it was David Ogden Stiers, the guy who played Winchester on MASH. And Alan Alda was, of course, Hawkeye. And the story is all about how Winchester had a cancer diagnosis. He was dying.
Is this true or is this a fake?
They tell the story
Oh.
about Alda visiting him and the last things that Stiers was saying to him and the conversation that they had. And it's very, very sweet and makes Alan Alda look like nicest guy in the world, which I'm sure he is. And, wow, lovely little story. I look for, at this point you have to, I look for some sort of accreditation of where this story came from. If it really happened. If it could have, and if it happened between the two of them, who got the dialogue? Like, how did they know what one person said to the other if it was just the two of them alone in a room together and Alan Alda didn't write it in a memoir, right? So I gotta show that. So, so I message the press agent who was sharing this story.
Oh, no.
And I was like, please don't do that.
Is it fake?
Of course it's fake.
They didn't know?
She said, and I semi-quote here.
But
could
she fed it into AI and check it?
She didn't write the story. She shared it.
Anytime you do, you gotta be.
Yeah, and I told her.
Even social media will say like a note and say this is AI generated, or people say this is like a scam, or this product doesn't work. Like you get a lot of those notes.
Back in the day.
Oh. Okay.
Now everything is a mix of real and fake, and things we want to be real. So, and she said, she wrote back to me, because I told her I was kind of angry. I was like, please don't share fake things.
How did you know it was fake?
Because I did a search. I was like, this is a nice little story. But where could it have possibly come from unless Alan Alda shared it himself? Because if it's a story about the two of them having this friendship and relationship.
It doesn't appear anywhere else.
And Alda visiting him, if not in the hospital or wherever, and the dialogue that they had. There's no other place it could have come from except Alda, right? Or maybe if Stiers had a nurse.
Or get a biographer.
But there's nothing. No, it was a nice story made up for the interwebs. And I told the press agent that.
Yeah, but aren't reporters supposed to? I know from my friend who was a reporter for the Times and the News that you have to check your story 2 or 3 times.
No shit. No, but this is not a story. This is from a feed on Facebook of Hollywood.
Send something around and you're a reporter, you should check.
Well, she's not a. This was a press agent who was just sharing a beautiful story, and I told her, you got to check the credentials on these things. This is fake. And she wrote back, and she said, I don't care. It's a sweet story. And I didn't even reply to that. I don't know what to reply to that. Is that the times that we're in now, where it doesn't matter if it's real, as long as it's nice.
I would put a note and say, suspect, but I want to share. Not sure if it's real, but sharing.
Yeah, but you shouldn't. You should. Because I literally, at that point, wanted to write a lovely story about Adolf Hitler. I just wanted to say, Adolf Hitler is,
but I wouldn't work with them. I
don't have to work with this. She was sending me press releases for the past 30 years on shows she repped. She's not a journalist.
That's sad,
she doesn't claim to be a journalist.
It's poor judgment for anybody.
It's terrible judgment, in my opinion.
So is this real or fake?
So
AI generated a reel.
I'm guessing this is real. This is our friend Sean Altman of the Jumongous guy. He actually was the guy who opened for Rabbi Sol doing Shalom Dammit when we first did it at the Richmond Shepherd Theater.
Yeah.
So Sean, very, very, basically brilliant comic writer. He was also in the a cappella group. Oh, gosh, the guys who did Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego. Well, Rockapella. They were in Rockapella. So, yeah.
Or you could just give any name. No matter if it's real.
But he is also a proud Jewy man, Sean Altman. So happy Chanukah to him. Happy Chanukah to all of you guys. And, happy Chanukah to all of you who are checking the things that you're putting on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok to make sure that they're real and legit. Like there's things when we watch your Facebook. Is it a Facebook feed that we watch or Twitter? That when you scroll and look and
it's probably Twitter, or it could be Blue Sky, honey.
Because there's this funny thing that we see of this family. They're having a cookout. They're around the table. They're having like a barbecue cookout, and somebody moves and like the whole floor falls through.
Oh, those, yeah.
And it's really funny.
They fall 5 stories down, and yeah.
But then suddenly, there's like one after the other of the same people in a different situation with the floor falling through. And I'm like, fuck! This is, or put a caveat, put a proviso on the videos saying this is generative. This did not really happen. Because imagine if you're watching America's Funniest Home Videos 30 years ago and they weren't real. Everything would be lost. It wouldn't be funny anymore. Some of them, if the timing is right.
The caveat is that nobody got really hurt. Because some of these things we look at, I'm like, they would be dead.
Yeah.
If you fell off the roof, landed on your feet, you would break both your ankles and probably your knees.
Well, I mean, Ridiculousness and Jackass and Pranked. Shows like, but again, if those things were not real, then, you start to go like, well, why are you watching it in the first place? But if it didn't really happen, the funniness is gone. Because the whole idea is, you can't, no. Like when we watch the feed of Anthony, Nobody Cares Anthony, who collects the ridiculous funny signs that he'll see in foreign countries or in supermarkets or on Facebook or Craigslist feeds where people are posting things they don't know that they're posting something misspelled or something that's a double entendre. They're hilarious because they're real.
We hope, right? Yeah.
If I start saying, okay, if I go to a sports store and I get a sign and it says hockey pucks, and then I diddle on Photoshop and I change it to hockey fucks. And I put that up. It's like, isn't this hilarious? This sports authority is selling hockey fucks. I mean, the comedy's gone, right? But if it's real, if somehow the thing fell off, in fact, it reminds me, let's just show this.
Read what it says.
Oi to the world, chala, chala la 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 la, and oi to...
And deck the hall with matzo balls.
With matzo balls. Save the deli. Yeah, but remember when I'm sure I told you about this or showed you this.
Yes.
When I was commuting, and this would have been back in like the 80s, commuting from Long Island to Manhattan for various jobs. And somewhere between like Rosedale and Laurelton on the Far Rockaway line, there would be a building, this big like brick-ish building that I would see out the dirty, grimy windows of the LIRR back then. And the building said fences. Big letters on that. They sold fences. It was either between Valley Stream and Rosedale or Rosedale and Laurelton.
Yeah.
And I would pass it every day. And the most wonderful thing was that there's these big block letters on the building. And at some point, the N fell off.
Feces.
And every day I would look out the window and it'd be like, feces! Here, I got one. It's the feces building. And people would look at me. I sit in my chair laughing hysterically. And I wonder what, because I was noticing, like, there's a building that just is advertising shit. And finally, somewhere in my archive, somewhere in my files, back in New York, one and this is long before the cell phone days. I brought a camera to New York, and I waited I snapped a photo of the Feces building through the window of the Long Island Railroad, and I got it for posterity.
Yeah.
And I would love to find it somewhere and show it and share it. But now it wouldn't matter because people would think I was faking. Of the Feces.
Chocolate brown coated memories of the letters left behind.
Oh, that's so sweet. No more alert for that. But seriously, but it was real. It was real. This is also real. These are stories that came into the Greeley Police Department.
Big guns coming out.
Oh, wow. Wow, look at the size of my gun.
Someone's calling the lieutenant, or who's the high person?
Well, this is a caller from 26th Avenue, said that a neighbor had 60 to 70 people over.
Woo!
And they were playing drums very loud.
I think that's just like when we were watching on the native dancing, like the jingle skirt, or they have one that's like it looks like a chicken dance, or the teens. That's a Native American dancing, right?
Yeah, no, I understand if they would say playing music very loudly, because that's the usual complaint. It's a noise complaint. But to say specifically, to say that it's just there's a very loud drum that they're playing. I kind of wonder about that.
Oh God, play the kickstand.
Here we go.
You got the kickstand. Wait, you got your cymbals off. Now play the drum.
Oh, I forgot about
it.
Yeah. So
let's do it together.
1, 2, 3, fall!
See, that's where they complain.
Well, I'll tell you something though. At least when the police went to check this out about the loud drumming, at least the culprits were snared. My drum jokes can't be beat. Oh, we have another phone call. A caller on 36th Avenue said a neighbor, speaking of noise, was blowing leaves into the street and other people's yards. The caller wanted to report them for, quote, destructing property. Destructing property, ladies and gentlemen. But, that is annoying. I never complain about everything on here, and I would not be the first one to complain about leaf blowing, be it the noise of it or the stupidity of it.
We have leaves, but we don't have batteries. I could have given you the acorns, other acorns.
Yeah, no, they're not Chanukah oriented. They're fall oriented.
Leaves are blowing. I thought they were leaves, but it's not leaves. They're acorns.
Oh, I guess we'll have to leave it for now. No, but I understand. I guess I can blow them into a place where I can rake them all, right? In terms of I guess the phone's ringing again. Let me get the dad joke button box for my thing here. A man at the Greeley Police Department was looking for a friend. He wanted to...
I don't think that. I hope not.
Now remember, these are pretty recent. These are from like November, December, not Halloween.
Was lost?
Well, he wanted to know if the police picked up someone dressed as Frankenstein near Bittersweet Park. They did pick up, they tried to, but the guy bolted.
No, they picked up the mummy instead, right?
Oh.
Like David, was it for Thanksgiving? Well,
and actually, October 31st was not so long ago. This could have been from Halloween.
Let's just say it's Halloween.
Could have been from Halloween. I hope it was. Oh, another call. That hurt.
Don't do that.
We got the screaming goat here. Let's see what else we have here. A caller at an unknown address. Look at the caller at the unknown address. Said the neighbor across the street did not have curtains, and the caller accidentally saw them naked.
Ooh.
She was so upset she dropped her binoculars. Thank you very much. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. What is this thing? Well, try this. You think this can function as a phone?
Oh, where's your other fancy one? Hold on.
It's in the box. It's in the Jew box, right there. Right there.
Oh, you need that.
I do.
Because it matches with the stuff. You want to put on your Hanukkah slippers?
Nobody will see. I'll do maybe for Bunion watch. Here, toss them over, and
I'll put them on your feet here.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Oh, this is exciting, folks.
Hold your phone. You could do the thing. I'll put.
Hello. By the way, it's 10 o'clock in the morning, Eastern Time, here in the Daverhood. I'm Dave Lefkowitz. That, literally changing my socks. Here, take a look. Oh, let me show.
Give me your footy.
Here is my darling and adorable wife.
These are
They feel so nice.
These are like
oh my God,
your hospital footies. They have things on the bottom. You should wear them. Oh,
These
are Old Navy. So we can get these.
Yeah. Oh, look at. Oh my.
David, these are
I'm
nice.
not a foot fetishist, but if I were,
wear these like slippers. You know, you could wear these like.
Because then they'll get ruined.
No, so we'll see if we can get you another pair. They were like $1.50. Your pants were not.
If we could find them, yeah. Well,
if they have it, we can look today if you want. We'll go to Michael's and Old Navy looking for your socks.
Well, they feel so
They
good.
look nice.
Yeah. Well, when we do Bunion watch, I'll.
They look like terra cloth. They look nice. You could wear them as slippers and you wouldn't fall because slippers fall off your feet.
Yeah, these have little
They have
skid
little
mark
nubbies,
things on the
yeah.
bottom. Yeah, very nice.
Wow, and look how nice. And they're not. The other socks are messing with your ankle. You know, you have to. No, you can't.
Okay.
That's not good, honey.
Do that later. Yeah.
Don't do that.
Anywho, before we do the next call, want to remind you it's 10 o'clock in the morning Eastern Time. We're watching the 1012th episode of the Dave's Gone By Facebookio, Podcastio, Programmio of the Stream. I'm Dave Lefkowitz. You're you. We're naming this episode Release the Kareken. Okay, instead of Kraken, Release the Kareken. Because Jeremy Kareken is going to be our guest in the Daverhood talking to Rabbi Sol Solomon. We also have a Colorado Limerick of the Damned for Cherry Knolls, Colorado. And Rabbi Sol will be reading the Isaac Bashevis singer story, The Parakeet Named Dreidel. And we'll have a My Sick Mind segment of jokes about the Reiners. So yes, lots of reasons to stay tuned on this Saturday morning, December 20th, 2025. Okay, I hope the caller calls back.
Wait, that one's this one.
Oh, trying to do the other ear then. Yellow. Hello. Wait. Yellow. Okay. What can I do for you? A caller at an unknown address.
I'm going to get the pen, David. I don't want it to leak.
Oh, it fell? Oh, shoot.
I don't want it to leak on the floor.
Yeah, no, absolutely, yeah.
I leak everything, okay.
Well, that's why you wear diapers. Wait.
In case you want to use the balloon.
Oh, no, let it be. Let it be.
I can't. I'm going
All
to have
right,
my head.
here comes the balloon.
Okay. Call the caller at an unknown address.
All right, so.
I don't think that's true. I think the police know where the address is.
Yeah, police know where the address. Well.
I don't think that's true. I think they can find.
They can find it if they need to.
Maybe they can find the phone number, but they probably have GPS.
If they need to, if they.
Yeah, what happens if somebody calls and passes out? They have to find the person.
Right. I'm saying.
Yeah.
I remember maybe they don't have to do this anymore. Keep them talking. Keep the kidnapper talking because they can trace. But yeah.
We need to understand that better. Yeah.
But I don't think they need to trace this one. The guy said his roommate just had his license revoked, but was still driving.
Yeah.
He told the call taker that the roommate would be leaving for work the next day around 4:30 p.m.
Oh, he was telling when they would.
Yeah, when you can catch my roommate. It's like, that's what friends are for.
Yeah,
It's not even that the roommate drives drunk. It's just like he doesn't have a license.
No, I've had a lot of people I know have had not like roommate, like adult, like they're sharing like roommate problems. Apparently it's very common.
Well, yeah.
Like they don't pay the rent or so. I mean, who knows what their story is? Right?
And then you get the whole squatters' rights thing.
Uh-oh.
Well, okay, one more and then we'll do an elsewhere. We got a balloon phone. Yellow.
Wait, you might need it here. It's the WhatsApp.
Oh. I can't hear the caller. I need to amplify it. Caller.
It's such a pretty color too.
I love gold. Yeah, I love this.
I can't believe they're still there. It's amazing to me.
And this one literally reinflated.
The sad part is that because I do zoom through here, people think it's a backdrop. And I'm like, no, they're
This
still
is,
inflated.
you can touch them. You
They
can,
think
yeah.
it's a backdrop.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why would I use a backdrop of balloons? Like of all the ones I would pick. And yeah.
Yeah, but you're doing things for work and school that
Yes.
we should probably take these down during the week.
Sometimes I turn, I face the door. So
Oh, okay, yeah. Or just tell me. These things are just hooked up on one little tack up there.
I know.
A caller
Oh, sorry.
on 35th Avenue said someone on a mobility scooter hit his car in the parking lot. I think it's going to go worse from the scooter than for the driver of the car.
Much worse,
Yeah, but actually this led to a chase with speeds upward of 4 miles per hour.
No, I told you, I saw it in front of the Starbucks when it first opened.
Oh,
A
yeah.
man came in and he was livid. And, you know, potatoes are very sympathetic to people who live with disability. And so he's like really mad, and he's like, whose car is that? It was like a Mercedes, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And the woman's like, it's mine. And he's like, you're parked in a handicap spot. I was like, uh-oh. And I got my stuff. I was like, this is going to get bad.
Well, he's just going to scream at her, and she's going to hit him with her cane.
No, she wasn't. She was not handicapped.
Well, we don't know. We don't know.
No, she had no tag.
Oh! I thought she had the.
No, she had no tag.
Oh,
and
dear,
he's saying basically.
Yeah,
like,
how dare you?
You're
You're
in the
just.
spot where you're parked.
Yeah.
And you have no tag.
And was he handicapped, or was he just looking out for handicapped people?
There and get out of the get the person with him out, but
Yeah.
it didn't go that way. So yeah.
Well, then,
I'm looking for another thing.
anywho, let us do one other thing now. While we do Greeley Times, one of the things that we do during the segment is we have stories that are not from Greeley or northern Colorado. We do 1 or 2 stories a week that are elsewhere. Mm-hmm. They are things that happen, crazy, real news. Like I think I'll say this every time. These are real news items, at least if you trust the messenger, that are weird things that happen in the world.
You can always, I put things in AI and say, is it AI? Do you think it's been humanized? Then AI will give me problems.
What if AI starts lying about it? Because AI hallucinates.
You can go to different AIs, Gemini, Copilot.
Oh, you don't think they all don't conspire together?
No, I think they're different companies.
I think AI, ChatGPT, Copilot, all these things, they created Bitcoin. I wouldn't be shocked if, yeah.
I thought it was the dog image of Bitcoin. There was like a weird dog. Yeah.
That could be it. So anyway, here's.
And after this, do a dad joke button.
Oh, okay. Here's an elsewhere though. And this is courtesy of the wonderful Shepherd Express. I wish I knew about these guys years ago. They're one of those places that gets odd news together from around the country.
Consolidator.
Yeah. So here's one. This is only a month old. This is from November 19th. A woman driving to work was stunned when, get your special animal noise ready, when a cat fell from the sky and crashed through her windshield.
Delayed dentist.
The pussy shattered half the glass on the passenger side. The Charlotte Observer reported, this happened in Bryson City, North Carolina. The Charlotte Observer reported that a witness saw the cat up in the air. You know why the cat got there?
Why?
It's so horrible. It was caught in the talons of an eagle.
What?
So an eagle grabbed a little pussy cat. It was carrying it to eat it.
Oh, it fell.
The bird and the feline were struggling in the air. The cat fell and smashed through the roof.
Did the cat live? Did it live?
Well, the cat lost one of its 9 lives, according to the story. Yeah, no, it did no. Cat didn't make it. Went through a windshield, going up from I don't know how high
It
those.
fought the talons of an eagle.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty,
The eagle was fine, as was the driver. But Jesus, what a way!
Because you hear the stories where there are kids or people who drop turkeys or drop stuff off an overpass.
Bowling balls, yeah.
Yeah, and she's lucky she didn't get.
She's lucky it was on the passenger side.
They do say that the windshield glass. Because I was reading about how to, like in the winter, how to get rid of ice on your windshield, and they were saying like all these stories of the windshield cracking with hot water are fake. The side windows in the back will crack. But they're saying the windshield has tempered glass because they know it's high impact. so it's a little stronger.
Yeah.
So I mean, she's lucky. Wow. If it came through her side window, she probably would have got.
Oh, yeah, or came from. Yeah. No, it's hard. No, but we also know my late father's oldest friend, a guy named Tony. He worked in the glass industry for many years, and they do make certain glasses where they don't shatter into 1,000 pieces. They kind of just you see the web, but it doesn't turn into like
it doesn't have like
shards. Yeah.
Wow.
Anyway, this is one more.
Socks feeling?
Oh, I love the feeling. Oh, you gotta put them. Why don't you put them on? You're barefoot. Put on a pair of socks. You'll feel it. All right.
We'll get one from you later.
I mean, now if you put them on, you'll get my toe fungus. So that wouldn't be fair. This is another Elsewhere story. This is coming from KSLA. And it was also reported in the New York Times, but coming out of Texas. 2 men, Gavin Rivers Weisenberg, age 21, and Tanner Christopher Thomas, age 20, were indicted 2 weeks ago in eastern Texas.
Okay.
The charges were conspiracy to murder, maim, kidnap in a foreign country, and also the production of child pornography.
Wow.
So two great young guys, fine young men, who were plotting to invade Gonave, or Gonave.
What's that?
It's an island off the coast of Haiti.
What?
These
Is
two,
this real?
21 and 20-year-old guy,
Yeah.
were going to go to Haiti.
Yeah.
I'm again, not kidding. It's funny because it's real. They were going to stage a coup d'etat,
How do you stage a coup?
murder all the men there, and use the women and children as sex slaves.
How do you?
I guess they didn't know how to do it because they didn't quite
They
succeed.
must have been on drugs because that's not a feasible
Well,
plan.
they were caught in the process of buying a sailboat, firearms, and ammunition. Both men were also learning Haitian Creole. And they enlisted in the U.S. Air Force to learn Army tactics.
Oh, gee.
Plus, this is fabulous, they conspired to recruit homeless people in Washington, D.C. to serve in their army. Weisenberg and Thomas face life in federal prison if they're convicted.
You know, like, some people should not be friends. You know, like sometimes, they should not be friends.
It's like, what if the guys who did the Columbine shooting didn't do the Columbine shooting but planned something
Or
else?
people just didn't meet up and become friends. Like, that's like, yeah.
Yeah, wow. I had aspirations of being a movie director, of being a Broadway playwright. I could never think of staging a coup d'etat in a country. It would not be on my list of things I could possibly imagine trying to do if I wanted to.
So do a dad joke.
All right. Oh, yeah. So, did we take this out of the box?
Yes, we did because we put the batteries in it.
No, but did we put it back in the box?
I'm sure we did. Where else would we put it?
All right, here we go.
I hope.
Yeah, it's here. It's here.
Because I don't know how to lose it.
So we have the dad joke button. Here is a hilarious dad joke for this Saturday on Dave's Gone By.
Found out I was colorblind the other day. That one came right at the purple.
Another one.
Okay, one more. Yeah, here we go.
I've got this awful disease where I can't stop telling airport jokes. The doctor says it's terminal.
Yeah. Yeah. The dad joke button, my friends. Okay, so let's do one or two more of Greeley Times. Then we have so much more of the show to do because we have our Colorado Limerick, we have our My Sick Mind segment, we've got Rabbi Sol talking to Jeremy Kareken, and Rabbi Sol reading the Isaac Bashevis Singer story for Chanukah. So a lot of fun stuff to get to. So where are we? Let me get back to my all-important pages. Oh, here comes another phone call to the Greeley and Weld County Police Department. Hello. A caller on 31st Street said, where are we? Simply reported, this is the whole thing. A caller on 31st Street simply reported, quote, a woman screaming. And there you have it. And one more. Here we go. A caller. I'm going to take this one in stereo. A caller at an unknown address saw a man panhandling on the sidewalk. When she asked him to leave, he told her that, quote, he was the cops. Wow, their PBA drives must be hurting a bit, I'll tell you. Anywho, ladies and gentlemen, let's do one more of these to end our Greeley Time segment. No, one more of these.
Oh, sorry.
Chinese takeaway, $20. Cost of delivery, $2. Getting home to find out they've forgotten part of your order? Priceless.
That's so bad.
No, that's funny. That was funny right there. And I thought it was going to be racist, and it's not, which is, and at least that's a plus for sure. Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Dave's Gone By, where we have just finished, mercifully, a segment that we call Greeley Times.
Mr. Horace Greeley was no fool.
No.
I'm sure that you'll agree with me that Greeley was no fool.
What he is getting at is that Mr. Greeley was no fool.
Yippee-yi!
Yippee-yi, 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 yi-yi, yippee, yippee, yippee.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, on this Saturday, December 20th, 2025, you're watching episode number 1012 of the Dave's Gone By program. We have so much more to do, as I've said, but let's get to the meat of our program sandwich, ladies and gentlemen, because we started with a little bit of fluffy lettuce, talking about things, then we got a nice piece of cheese with the Greeley Times. Now we get to the kosher meat, my friends. Jeremy Kareken. He is a playwright, a Broadway playwright, also a screenwriter, also a playwriting and screenwriting teacher, and a very, very cool dude. So he's going to be talking to Rabbi Sol Solomon, who is, he's been with us since our very, very first episode of the program 24 and a half years ago. My gosh. So he gets to do the honors on this the 6th day of Chanukah, coming into the 7th night of Chanukah. Something like that. Anywho, Rabbi Sol will do that, and then he'll come right on and do story time for you all. So it's a real Rabbi Sol kind of day, once again here. Let's get to, hold on, I just have to share my screen. Let's share that puppy. Let's get rid of my Zoom workplace. Or not. Pull that down, thank you. Pull that down. What, babe?
Before, talk about, this is our friend, but...
Oh, I was going to get to that. That's exactly what I was talking about with the... I forgot to mention that.
Oh, say it, then say it.
Yeah.
I'll show you here.
All right, hold on. I got to
You want the
unshare.
picture?
I got to stop share. One sec.
Yeah, they're just breaking news. I can't do breaking news.
I literally had this down to talk about. And I was building up to it with all the talk about the fake AI things.
Sorry, honey.
Because that's what this is.
Well, you do that every day. You do that every show. You do it.
Yeah.
You do word of the day, usually.
Right. Oh, yeah. So this is not the word of the day. This is like the word of the year. Merriam-Webster has chosen. Oh shoot! I literally had this down to talk about as part of what I was doing.
It's our English friend from Colorado. I love her.
Yeah,
She's
a professor
English
back in.
writer. She's a Chaucerian mostly.
Scholar, yeah.
Chaucerian scholar.
So she is posting the fact that Merriam-Webster has chosen its important sort of new. It's an old word being used in a new context. And that word is slop. Slop, S-L-O-P. Creepy, zany, and demonstrably fake content on the internet and social media is called slop.
Yeah, that's what you were talking about, honey.
Yeah. The word's proliferation online, in part thanks to widespread availability of generative artificial intelligence, landed it as Webster's word of the year. It's sort of, and it goes so well with spam.
Yes.
If you remember when spam was come up with, yeah. So slop is literally what I'm talking about. It's all the stuff that you get on the internet that is either not funny enough to be interesting, not anything, or it does have some merit as entertainment value, but it's fake and you can't trust it and it's wrong. And they're calling that, I guess, almost the equivalent of spam in your email. They're calling it just slop on the internet. Stuff that, when you scroll through, you can't automatically skip it. You kind of have to see it for a tenth of a second before you can go, the hell with this. Or if you're unlucky, You're like, oh, this is intriguing, and you watch 2 seconds of it, and it's like, wow, I'm wasting my life here, wasting my time. Boom, it's slop. It's a great word, and it's, I think, a great choice in these AI times for Merriam-Webster to choose that word. But that's exactly what I was talking about with
You were.
with the Alan Alda story, with the Mel Brooks picture, slop, and it's just proliferating like crazy to the point where half a year from now, we literally won't know what's real and what's not. And I don't want to stop social media because I do this program on Facebook, and suddenly I'll have to go just to YouTube or just to my website where I won't know if anybody's even watching it or how to tell people about it.
There might be chatbots watching.
Okay, well, I hope they're enjoying.
Remember we asked the chat to do all those summaries? You were going to use them of all the intros and summaries of your show. Remember? She produced all the...
Oh yeah. She did a great job.
Great, yeah.
And actually, the other week I had one of my guests say, it's Bill Boggs, actually. And he wrote in and said, great interview, love doing it. Can I post it somewhere? I do have a logo. And I don't really have a logo for the show. So I went on chat, it was either Copilot or ChatGPT, and I said, can you draw up a logo? Then I have Copilot.
Yeah.
So
I also have Gemini, babe.
I'm not going to use Gemini. So I was like, can you do a logo with a microphone? And he did it in like 3 minutes. It created a logo, perfectly simple, fine logo. I sent it to him. This is great. I now have a logo for the show that was concocted by a machine. My machine.
Well, the machine knows your show and knows your work.
3 minutes. Well, no, I just told them, here are the words. Give me a microphone. It's like, boom. And it did it. But, I don't know what to do or deal with about the slop issue unless the next generation literally will be like that press agent and won't care. It's like, if it's nice, if it's entertaining, if it's funny, if it's sad, what does it matter? What is reality? Reality is a construct anyway, right? Wow, that's way too philosophical for a Saturday morning. Let's get to someone who philosophizes with words and theater, a guy named Jeremy Kareken, talking with Rabbi Sol Solomon here on, let me get my share again, on Dave's Gone By. Let me open this up. Please to enjoy this marvelous, marvelous interview. And I'll be back in a while with more. Well, no, it's not more of the show. This is the show. More of the show is happening right this second. Don't go away. You don't want to miss this. Oh, shalom, my friends. Shalom, my enemies. This is your old pal, Rabbi Sol Solomon, founder and spiritual leader of Temple Sons of Bitches in Great Neck, New York. And how delighted I am to be here with a notable playwright, a scribe, and a teacher of scribing as well. He is possibly best known for co-writing the Broadway show Lifespan of a Fact, which was awarded with the Outer Critics Circle John Gassner Award. He also most recently appeared in the London staging, if you will, of our great friend Jeffrey Sweet's play The Value of Names. But more important than all of this, he is a dyed-in-the-wool, pro-Israel, Zionistic human being. Yes. So won't you please, don't give me devil horns. That's
No. This is Emily Damari.
Okay, good. It's Jeremy Kareken, ladies and gentlemen. Shalom to you, Jeremy. How are you?
Chag Sameach. How are you? It's very happy Hanukkah. Up the Maccabees.
Happy Chanukah, up the Maccabees to you too. Oh, it's a wonderful time to be Jewish, isn't it? It's just a delightful fucking time to be Jewish.
Could be better.
How are things?
It's been worse.
1942 would be worse.
44 wasn't so hot. We've had it worse.
So,
it's been bad.
Now, you are not in America, right? Even though you're perfectly American there. What are you? You're in England, and why the hell are you in England?
I am in London. Yes, I married a beautiful English woman with the classical English name of Miranda Levy. We live here in North London, in the heart of the media and secular Jew ghetto called Muswell Hill, and this is where I live. This is where I work.
What does your wife do?
She's a journalist. She's a journalist with the Daily Telegraph, the Jewish Chronicle, and a few other fine publications. Daily Mail. She works all around town.
So was it hard for you to uproot after all these years of being in America and suddenly you're living in, like, trying to work in London and so forth?
I don't really consider myself an American. I consider myself a New Yorker, an island off the coast of America, as you well know. Was it hard? Sure. It's hard. I love America. I love New York. Things have changed in a lot of ways. There's a lot of things I'm not sad to say farewell to, or at least farewell most of the year to. I come back. I like it there.
So how was doing your most recent acting project? Because I think of you as a playwright, but you were in the play called The Value of Names. Speaking of Jewishness, speaking of hard times for Jews, it was about the blacklist back in the...
It sure was.
Yeah. So how did that go? Oh, you muted yourself. Hold on. Unmute yourself, goddammit. What's the matter with you?
I don't know why
Jews
this
can't do
happens.
technology. God damn it. Okay.
I just made myself a Jewish husband. So what was I doing? This is The Value of Names. Value of Names is a very interesting play by Jeffrey Sweet. I played basically a version of Zero Mostel. I changed it up. We did a little Dean and Win in it, but the basis of the play is Zero Mostel, who's basically blacklisted from Hollywood by Elia Kazan, among others, because they named names. And Zero had to times work with these people in the future, and sometimes didn't like doing it. He once famously said, I'll work with you, but I won't eat with you. So it was a guy who was kind of embittered. His career didn't go where he wanted it to go because he was a progressive, someone who believed in things that were other than popular at the time.
So, the play, it's not a new play. Jeffrey wrote it like 20, 30 years
1980s, early, yeah.
Yeah. So, was it received well? Because we just did it this year, yeah.
It's an interesting time to do it, as Zionists are being demonized around the world. It is definitely a moment, and also the anti-Zionists and the Jew haters. They're being drummed out of their jobs because they said something stupid. Blacklists exist. It's a new time to kind of think about it. There's people I know I'd never work with or want to work with, or you'd have to pay me a lot more to work with.
That's so Jewish. It's like I would never, absolutely, like Zero. It's like
it's always about money with us people. But
whom would you never work with? Very specifically because they're
Oh, I don't want to give a name. I'm not a
Mandy. Is his name Mandy?
No, I don't boycott. I make moral decisions. I don't do boycotts. So, like, if everybody make their own choices with their own, where do you shop, where do you don't? I know where I don't shop, and I'm sorry, I won't be seeing any more Hulk movies. Other than that, I'm not saying anything.
Okay, fair enough. I do girl cots. I will gladly go on a cot with a girl, but it's a very different thing that we're talking about with Jeremy Kareken. So let me also ask you, since we're really on this subject, you are or seem to be a very dyed-in-the-wool liberal. You hate Donald Trump, but do you feel... But it's sort of like it's the one thing you and Trump agree on is Israel.
Oh, sure. I'm okay with that. Listen, I am a dyed-in-the-wool liberal within the small L sense. I'm a free markets, free minds kind of guy. I'm a Reason magazine reading guy that nobody likes or understands. I have opinions. I don't have a party. So I call it like I see it. I think Donald Trump's an awful human being. I agree with him on Israel. I probably, I disagree with him on Kentucky Fried Chicken. There's lots of different, lots of opinions.
Wouldn't you say that nearly everyone that you work with in movies and theater, in academia, would come to you and say, if Donald Trump is wrong about every single thing, doesn't it make sense that he is wrong about this one,
He wears trousers most of the day. Does that mean he's wrong about that? No, he's right. Keep doing that. It's a little more complex than just picking teams. Are you trying pro-Trump to anti-Trump? I can't stand the guy. I've never voted for him. I voted against him. I've registered the Republican Party to vote against him. I've probably voted against him more than most people. Does that mean everything he does is wrong? No. Does it mean most things? Yes. Does it mean he's temperamentally and morally unsuited to the office of president? Yes. He was right on Israel.
That's right. I like that can be explained. You know, that always bothers me because if he's, all the liberals are saying, how can he, obviously he's so wrong on everything. Maybe, but I'm like, no, Israel. And by the way, speaking of trousers, I'm not wearing any at the moment, but don't really need to. Now, by the way, we mentioned that your most famous work. Put it that way. Made it to Broadway. It was a play called.
It made it to Broadway.
Yeah, Lifespan of
It's a Broadway hit. Yeah.
Yeah. Collaboration. How did that come about? And were you shocked that after being a writer for all these years, suddenly it's like, oh my God, it wasn't just done off Broadway. It wasn't in a little theater.
Straight to Broadway. Suddenly I'm like, suddenly I'm new. So. What happened? So, what was that called? So, how did it come about?
Yeah.
David Morrell is one of my oldest and dearest friends. We've worked on projects together. We wrote a screenplay that won an award once that is never going to get produced. But we've been friends ever since college. He calls me one day and he says, Jeremy, have you seen this book review in the New York Times? And it was a book review of the book, The Lifespan of a Fact. And the reviewer was so furious that this book should be written that he wrote, she, I don't even remember who it was, just wrote the most fiercely, angrily negative review I've heard since, since Donald Trump reviewed the films of Rob Reiner.
Trump reviewed Rob Reiner, yes, right, yeah.
Exactly. So it was so gut-wrenchingly angry that it was hysterical. And we thought anything that the New York Times hates this much can't be that bad. So we went to go get the book. We read the book and we're like, there's something here. There's a movie or a play. They wanted to do a movie. I wanted to do a play. I wanted to do a kind of off-Broadway, weird experimental piece, and they wanted to do a movie, so we took it to this producer, Norman Twain, who we knew and sold a couple pitches to that didn't go anywhere. And he listens to us and he goes, no, boys, you're both wrong. This is the Broadway play. And we thought, we've never done anything weird. I got an MFA. He's who are we? And then he said, no, this is a Broadway play. And, 6 years later, it was on Broadway. Sadly, the producer didn't survive to see it. Norman was, he died trying to get us a director. He died of liver cancer. It was a lovely man who was.
So did bringing it to Broadway, the fact that you had the Harry Potter, what
that was the
thing that got it? Yeah.
That was it. It was on a pile of scripts in Dan's agent's I'm blanking on his agent right now, but on his agent's desk, he said, let me look at a new play. They showed him a new play. They called Jeffrey Richards, who kind of taken over and sent it to the agent and said, what about this play? And he said, yeah. So they did a reading. And it went on Broadway.
So let me ask you about the nature of collaboration, because for some people, they can't work alone. They need to bounce off ideas. How do you deal with that? Because mostly playwrights are solo. They sit, they write, and it can be very difficult unless you're parsing. You do this scene, I'll do that scene. How was your collaboration with two other people on this project?
Okay, so David and I didn't collaborate with Gordon. Gordon's a lovely guy, good playwright. he really was able to. This is a long story. The person I could collaborate with was David Morrell. David Morrell and I basically talked every day, bat around ideas on the phone. He was often in Scottsdale, Arizona, or Wyoming or something on a job, and we would type to each other, chat to each other, talk to each other. Then he'd be back in New York, and we talk and chat, and send things back and forth. And David and I know each other well enough that it's kind of a work marriage. So sometimes I'd be standing over while he'd be typing. Sometimes he'd be standing. He'd be sometimes it'd be the other way around. Sometimes we'd send scripts back and forth to each other. So it just.
Was there ever a conflict of a thing of something that you desperately wanted in, they desperately wanted out, or vice versa?
So, okay, yes and no, sure. So David and I, the producer and I, Norman was adamant that the end of the play have a very definite end. And we never agreed to that. We could never do it. We were always like, we did it. We tried it his way. We tried it making it the ending that we got now. So it was never working. So, we got he said we got 98% of a play. We don't have the play. We got 90% of a play. We don't have the whole thing. Let me send it to this other guy. I think he can fix the end. And we were like, okay. And Gordon came into the project and, fixed the end, caused some other problem, but he also did not say any new writer would. That's not, So but also made a lot of things in the rest of the play better. So it was
if you change the ending, everything has to lead to it. You've got to go back.
Exactly.
Right?
So there is, there was enrichment that he had done, in his work. So it was so, but still had that problem at the very, 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 very end where we wanted it definite and we wanted it vague, and also the female character wasn't as fleshed out as she should be. Emily is. The reason I say the female character is because she wasn't always named Emily. She used to be named Julie when we first wrote it, and the director was like, "Please, can I have something with a different starting letter?" And we was like, "All right, Emily." So,
sometimes it's as simple as it's like doesn't mean anything. It's not like it's representative of some mythological. No, I don't want to J. That's it.
Believe me, we had talks. We wanted Julie. We wanted Julie because for some reason David and I, that Julie just seems like a normal, honest, smart. The audience's expectations and responsibility feels like a Julie to us. That's just the way it is in our personal mythology.
But you lived with Emily. Emily worked out okay.
Emily was fine. We're fine with Emily. So, but she wasn't. She was the character. She doesn't exist in the book. We made her up. So she has been. That took longer to develop and still wasn't ready. So then they brought David and me back to bring it home into the. Onto the Broadway. We were in rehearsal at the end. So it was, so that's how this, can you learn anything from it? No, it was all kind of a mess.
Here's my other question.
Yeah.
Now, having being a successful Broadway playwright, how do you stop from calling your agent every week and saying, what about this play? How come this can't? I've got 10 in the drawer and they're all good. Why?
Well, for one, theater died for 2 years.
Yeah.
For two, it's really hard to put up a play. It's hard to get the money to do it. I have good work. My phone number's out there. My agent, Elaine Devlin, is a wonderful person. And if ever I'm flavor of the month, I'll be flavor of the month. I write what I write.
Well,
I write what I write.
Here's a show that I don't.
I can cry about it.
Here's a show that I honestly don't know if ever could. Maybe if they turn it into a musical. There is a play that you wrote called "Bees Conquered the Earth."
Oh, that's a screenplay.
Oh, it's a screenplay.
That was a screenplay I wrote with David Morrell.
Yeah.
That is Russ Meyer meet. That's Russ Meyer meets Steven Spielberg, and it starts out about it's about haunted breast implants.
There you go. There you go. Yeah.
It's an absolutely ridiculous 1950s sci-fi pastiche that David and I wrote, and we won the Hamptons International Film Festival with it, with the screenplay competition. And
it sounds
that's hysterical.
Again, if it won the Hamptons competition there, wasn't there a director or a producer interested in hiring a director to make the film?
At one point, we had Brad Cooper interested, but that was before he was anybody and everybody. But well, let me put it this way: if looking at it as an investor, looking at a script and thinking, is this the kind of movie I want to put $1.5 million of money that I worked hard to get as a pediatrician to make this?
Look, I hate to tell $1.5 million is nothing now for a movie.
Okay, sure. Yeah. I mean, no, but they got to get 5 or 6 of these people to do it, or they got to get, if they got to get a studio to do it. Oh my God, we would have been drummed out of Hollywood, 10 years ago. I mean, it's so politically incorrect. This movie, it's. I know it's great, but we would have been. Oh boy, we would have been shot. So it's a very culty movie. So the upside potential gross of this kind of movie, I understand if an investor goes, eh.
Yeah, all right, I get it. I get it. So far we're keeping a bra on Bees Conquered the Earth. But
there's no nudity in it. That's the other thing. There's no nudity in it. It just keeps you thinking it's about to happen. Never happens.
So you'll have no producers and no audience. Yeah, you're right.
Exactly. Wow. I'm sorry to the trench coat crowd.
Now, here's we think you are, of course, a writer. You are, of course, an actor, but you got to make a living too. And
I make a living.
Right, halabai. But for 2 decades, you actually made a decent living working for and with the Actors Studio. And everybody remembers inside the Actors Studio with the guy with the dyed beard and James Lipton. Any stories?
Don't tell anybody it's dyed. Everybody.
Well, he died. We can say anything we want about it.
They think it's all real.
Oh, oops. Tell us some stories, good or bad, wonderful or terrible.
Oh,
yeah.
I don't have any bad stories about Inside the Actors Studio. I loved Inside the Actors Studio. I was the researcher for Inside the Actors Studio. I did those blue cards. I typed up all the facts and looked at did all the research for it. I got the job. I think because of Zippy the Pinhead, I was at the Alan Alda interview when they were discussing the 4 seasons, and at one point, Carol Burnett in the 4 seasons. I don't know if anybody remembers this movie, 1980. It's a very good movie.
I think they remade it actually. But okay, yeah.
They remade it recently. Yeah. Carol Burnett pops out of the sunroof because they can't get out of Los Angeles to go on vacation. She yells, "Are we having fun yet?" And that was a very popular phrase during the 80s and 90s. And James Lipton asked him, "Did you make that up?" And Alan Alda said, "Yes, I think I did." And then during those student questions, I was one of the students. I was a playwriting student. I popped up and I said, "Actually, you didn't make it up. It was the 1970s surrealist cartoonist, San Francisco cartoonist named Bill Griffith, who did it for Zippy the Pinhead, and it was like 1974, and they're all just looking at me like, what is wrong with this kid?" And it was just how did he know that? How did I know it? I just knew it. I liked Zippy the Pinhead.
Yeah, right.
So, and there's a few moments in those when they cut me out, thank God, because I sound like a weirdo and a nerd, which is what I was. And so they offered me a job. They're like, can you do this for a living? And I said, can I? Yeah, of
And
course I did. It was
you
fun.
did for many, many years. So give us some more than, you were behind the scenes, any performers or interviewees that were really weird or hard to corral, or were they all surprisingly wonderful, or what?
Oh, they were all, I mean, listen, these are all stars. So these are people who gotta be, they're either in a TV show where you gotta work with them, 8 to 9 o'clock at night, 4 days a week, 5 days a week, or they're on a set for 3 months. They've got good people skills. Stars, they're good. They're nice. They generally know how to work a room. They're not. No one's misbehaving back there. Some of them did. One of them did me a very great favor. Jeremy Irons.
What do you do?
So in the middle of the show when I used to do the warm up as well. I was like, hello, welcome to Inside the Art Studio. I did that as well. In the middle, while they're switching from the interview to the kids' question stuff, we talk in the green room. I said, oh, your name's Jeremy, my name's Jeremy. And I do the research on the show, and this is the time when I introduce myself, because they can go, oh, because I usually got some things that they are surprised about, or they're like, stay away from my wife. They're all really nice generally. So,
No, but what did Jeremy Irons?
Jeremy Irons, what he did was especially nice. He goes, oh, and what you said your name was Jeremy. What's your last name? And I said, Kareken. And he said, Kareken, huh? I said, yeah, Kareken. And after the show, Jim, for some reason, decides to introduce me to him because I was a student and he liked to show me off at the time. And he goes, and this was one of our students, Jeremy. And Jeremy Irons stops and goes, wait, not Jeremy Kareken, the researcher. I've heard about you. I've loved your work. I've admired your work for years. And I was like, oh, thank you. And he's laying it on so thick that I know he's full of shit. But Jim wasn't always interested in other people. He's missing it entirely. He's just noticing, and the next week or two, I found out my fee suddenly got doubled. I got a raise. So
what a wonderful story, and I love to see people think that we're just out for dirt when you're an interviewer. Oh, tell me something bad about, or which star is the worst.
He was lovely.
Wonderful stories like that.
And it's a great joke he played on me.
Oh, that's not a joke. It's a joke he played on James Lipton to your benefit. That's wonderful.
He's really quite, and from then on, honestly, the man does no wrong. If anybody ever Me Too's him or whatever, I'm like, so what? He did this. He paid for a year of my kid's college.
God bless him. Oh, you have kids, Mazel.
I have 2 kids, yes.
Are you keeping them out of the showbiz, or what do they do?
I don't know. My son seemed a little interested. I'm a little concerned, but he's a very smart econ major at the University of Maryland. I predict better things than the drama. I'm telling him to stay away from the muses. It's a tough dollar.
I'm sorry. You bring up Maryland, the host of this program, Dave. He has been living in Maryland and doing this show from Maryland the last year. You lived in Towson for a while, didn't you?
Not too far. That's right, in Towson. Yes.
Yes. Any memories, good or bad, or funny, of Towson?
Oh my God, I hate the suburbs so much. I can't tell you. I feel so alone there. It was during the pandemic, so most of it was kind of miserable. And I find the suburbs isolated enough. Well, everybody gets in their car. They never talk to each other. The coffee shops that you go to are miles and miles away, so you don't see your neighbors. It's really...
Are you sure you were in Towson is a city? It's got a giant school there.
I was in Stoneleigh. It was very clean,
Oh, clean.
You know what? the deed, I'll tell you how clean it was.
How
The
clean
deed
was it?
said I couldn't. The deed said I couldn't live there. They didn't. The deed still had those restrictive, no blacks, Jews, or whatever.
Wait a minute. In 2019?
Yes. My ex-wife is trying to get it off the deed now. She's paying a lawyer. It takes forever. They're not enforceable, but they're still there.
Wow.
I think they should keep them as history. Of how stupid we were.
So going back to the Jewishness, because hey, it's all about that. How Jewish were you, Ray? Were you conservative, reformed? What were you?
No, none of the above. My mother was a Jewish atheist. My father was Armenian agnostic. Together, they merged and they made it me. Probably not, but maybe. I feel culturally Jewish. Since then I've studied. I around the age of 13, I said, "Why are all my friends getting bar mitzvah?" And my mother goes, "We never. You didn't seem that interested." I was 4. Then in Hebrew school, so we went to. We started going to synagogue. We started celebrating the high holy days, things like that. And then in my 30s, I got surprised with a bar mitzvah while I was visiting Israel, and I was on Masada, and so that's been my Jewish life.
So how old were you when you were circumcised?
last week.
I know. No wonder you're sitting in an.
No wonder I'm drinking. No, no, it was a doctor who did it when I'll tell you, my grandmother was like, there was an infection down there when I was a baby. And my grandmother was, I told you the Moyle should have done it. She didn't say it like that because my grandmother was from the deep South. She's very Jewish, but she's from Mississippi.
Oh my God.
She's from Laurel, Mississippi.
So she should let the Klan do it. Just the guy with the, yeah.
I told you should have let the Moyle do it if you would have done it.
That's wow. It's like the last night of Ballyhoo come to life. Let me also ask you, we're talking, by the way, to Jeremy Kareken here. He's a playwright. He's also an actor who has been, we haven't really talked about the acting so much, but you have been directed by some pretty well-known names, like playwright David Auburn, Estelle Parsons, I guess part of
Jeremy, no, stop. What was that?
Oh, all right.
But no, she's great. I love her. She's brilliant. And man, if you could stand up to Estelle Parsons all 95 years and 4 feet of her, stand up to anything. She's the toughest. She is the end. And what really makes me mad about her is she's right. She's always right.
That's beautiful. You can't necessarily know the moment, but you look back and say, God damn it.
God, but she makes you feel this big, and she's right.
What about, I'm also, by the way, our friend of the Daverhood, Edward Einhorn. You were in a show of his?
Oh, Eddie. Yeah, I was in a show called the Shylock and the Shakespeareans. Ooh. I played Jacob, who was kind of like Shylock, who was wrongly. He was kind of a pawnbroker in Venice, and he was screwed out of his money and we know the story. But he was basically stolen from it. He's just like, I just like the money. And they're like, what do you want, flesh? He's like, no, I said money. And it's all a big misunderstanding that's basically based on anti-Semitism, which is
funny how it just keeps circling back in this conversation to the subject. It's amazing we haven't really talked more about the Holocaust. So,
yeah, sure.
The Holocaust, how many relatives did you lose?
Well, it's interesting. None from the Holocaust. Well, I got it on the other end with the Armenians. My great grandfather was shot in the back by the Turks. My grandfather was forced to flee at the age of 12, 11, and he had to run by himself. So that's the Armenian side. The Jewish side, we were all here from Latvia, like the 1890s. So we were all comfortable and that and happy shoe salesmen and furniture polish makers, and we got along well. It was like a Hart and Kaufman play, what it sounds like when part of the family was in Brooklyn.
No,
One was
I'm
a
so
hat
scared.
maker.
Yeah, I know. I'm so scared of the Turks. I won't even go with the Turks and the Caicos. So there you go. Thank you very much.
I just
Thank
go
you.
to Caicos. I forget Turks. I go to Caicos.
Oh, I
just
go
in
to
case.
Tyke, but there you go. Anywho.
Oh, wow.
Uh, Anywho, hey, you are also a teacher. You teach screenwriting.
I teach playwriting.
Play. I thought you also taught because you were at New York Institute of Technology and English.
Yes,
Yeah.
I taught television and screenwriting there. I do teach it. I'm less confident in it. I would rather have. I've had a hit play. Have I had a hit movie? No. So I haven't cracked that yet.
So what is the number one thing you try and tell your students who want to be playwrights? What is your advice, either in terms of a lifestyle or in terms of what they put on paper? Well, I was going to say paper, but you know what I mean.
Here's my advice in one word: stop. Don't do it. Don't be an artist. Don't put yourself out there. Don't be the kind of person whose heart and soul depends on the thing that you do. And when someone says no, a part of you dies. Don't need money to do this. Don't say, I'll do anything to do this to the wrong person who will then take advantage of you and do unspeakable things to you. So just don't. And the ones that still want to do it, I would say, learn how to listen. Learn how to listen to yourself. Learn how to listen to other people. Learn how to listen to your critics. Learn how to listen to people in the wilds.
And let me ask you, do you have a favorite play or playwright besides your own, besides yourself?
I'm living where he came from. Sure, it's William Shakespeare.
Oh.
I mean, I don't think we'll ever find anyone better. He changed the way the world speaks, thinks, and feels. Sure, he wrote a deeply anti-Semitic play. I try to forget him that because he's so absolutely amazing. I mean, I could talk about people who are, more modern, but I can't think of a better.
And do you have a favorite bard play?
Do I have a favorite bard play? Yeah, it's Hamlet. It's boring. I think it's, I don't know. I go back and forth between Hamlet and Richard III because he's an anti-hero. He's a villain or an anti-hero. He's the lead, and he's also like, and he's trying to get you on his side, like, watch what I'm going to do, and I'm going to do it. And then you're supposed to, you're on this weird journey that's kind of experimental. It's different than anything else, but then Hamlet is kind of perfect. So,
yeah, I mean,
except I don't know about the ghost. Can we lose the ghost, Bill?
Yeah,
is this realism? Is this magical realism? It's too much.
See, if you were a playwriting teacher, you would probably tell young Shakespeare, it's like, if you bring a ghost in the first act, he's got to reappear in Act 5. He's the one. When Hamlet dies, the ghost comes back and says, son! And then you have a tear moment. Yeah.
They're forced ghosts, like at the end of, the Star Wars movies. When you bring him in as a forced ghost, and Hamlet, I loved you all along. I've got notes, Bill.
So here's the question I know you don't want to answer, so I'm going to ask it anyway, because playwrights and writers hate this. Can you talk about what you're working on now? I guess not. Wait. Sorry, you're breaking up for a moment. I can't. Hold it. We're losing your feed.
A little bit. I don't know. Maybe. You can't hear me?
You're frozen.
It's about the NSA.
Okay, we're back. Hello. So, what were you saying?
It's about the NSA. They don't want me to talk. They don't want me to talk. Fuck! It's about the NSA. I finally cracked the joke. Sorry about that. Sorry about the internet glitch.
Yeah, no, we're still in it. I think we're okay. All right.
Oh, we're still in it. Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sorry to hear. We're okay now. Okay, good.
All right.
So what am I currently working on now? I'm working on a play about a tech billionaire and his pref, and they're stuck during lockdown, and that's what the play is about. It's called Bong Terry Bong, and it's not Elon Musk. Maybe it's Elon Musk. It's not Elon Musk, but it's an interesting. It was a fun thing to discover what would I do if I had the most money in the world? What would I be
up
like?
my shul? I mean, it's not my shul. It's just, actually, this brings up a question though. When you write characters for a play or a screenplay, do you see actors in your head, even if you don't cast them? Do you sort of see to keep them in mind while you are writing, because you're writing for that voice or that face or personality, or is this more amorphous? It's just a character in your head.
Sometimes, not always. I would say 15% of the time, maybe I'd be more a successful playwright if I did. I just don't. I don't think in actors usually. Maybe it'll be in people that I've seen in the past. And plus, I kind of think I don't want to fall into mimicry. So I kind of want to create who those people are. So I'll take a little bit of this person and a little bit of this person, put it in there, and then I'll do a Frankenstein. I don't like to try to mimic another person. I don't know why. It just never felt right to me. It's like, oh, that's not part of the game. Someone that I could be like, I understand that person, but I'm not that person.
That's fair.
Because if ever I am that person will be very weak-willed, and the play won't go anywhere. It's got to be, I understand it, but I'm not.
Well, we understand the delight of talking to Jeremy Kareken. Remember to follow him on Facebook. You can also go to his website, jeremykareken.com. I got to spell that. K-A-R...
A-R-E-K-E-N spells Kareken.
Do it again, one more time.
A-R-E-K-E-N spells Kareken.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. You're not a bad singer either. Come today. A playwright, playwriting teacher. Also, last question for you before I let you go. If there is, of all the plays that you have written, which is either your favorite or the most that you really want to see put up in a commercial, if not Broadway, but a commercial venue in London or New York or somewhere?
Well, I'd love to see Lifespan done here in London. I think it was a quirk of the pandemic that it didn't end up here. It's something that this Scepter Isle needs to see. I love Bong Terry Bong. I'm crazy about it. I can't wait. I know it will get put up because I think it's too interesting and too important. So I think I will see that. And I got to play about King Ashurnasir Paul II from the Third Assyrian Empire that I would love to see on stage one day. It's filthy, but
now we're talking. Can you send it to me in a brown paper wrapper?
You got it, mister.
Thank you, Jeremy Kareken. I wish you more Zionism, more writing, more success, more good times in London, more great life ahead. Thank you so much.
Give me nachas.
Nachas too. Shalom to you.
Thank you, man.
Oh, how delightful to have Jeremy Kareken in the Daverhood with me, Rabbi Sol Solomon of Temple Sons of Bitches. Happy 6th day of Chanukah, approaching the 7th night of Chanukah 2025. I hope you've had a good one, a festive one, where you're eating lots of latkes and jelly donuts. And don't tell anyone if you have a ham sandwich. If you enjoy it, then make it part of the holiday too. Anything that's happy and good in this verstonkene year that you are doing, that doesn't hurt anybody, that you enjoy it and make it part of the culture and the festival. What's to lose at this point, you know? So the thing that I would enjoy, it's interesting that Jeremy just mentioned the Assyrians. Let's get back to those golden olden times. They really weren't, but in nostalgia factor, with a story time this week. Yes, we have a story to read for you called The Parakeet Named Dreidel, which was written, if you can believe it, by the legendary Jewish author Isaac Bashevis Singer. First I gotta play the music of Story Time on Dave's Gone By.
Tell me a story, tell me a story, tell me a story, remember what you said. You promised me, you said you would, you gotta give in so I'll be good. Tell me a story, then I'll go to bed.
Little brat. Yes, okay, I will tell you a story very happily. And it's illustrated, by the way, by Suzanne Raphael Berkson. Let's take a look at the specs on this fine children's book, published by Farrar Straus Giroux, no less. To Gershon, that's from the illustrator here. When was this from? I think I'm going to need a stronger prescription on my glasses to do this. So hold on. Oh, that's better. That is better. When was this published, this thing? It was copyright 1980, the story, but the book was put out in 2015, originally published in The Power of Light by Yitzchak. So maybe like a book of little short stories for children or something. Anyway, it's a Chanukah-related book that we will share with you on this fine Chanukah, and I'll do commentary as needed, and dysentery is unneeded. It happened about 10 years ago in Brooklyn, New York. All day long, a heavy snow was falling. Fall. Toward evening, the sky cleared, and a few stars appeared. A frost set in. It could have been David Frost, because he was visiting New York at that point. It was the 8th day of Chanukah, and my silver Chanukah lamp stood in the windowsill with all candles burning. It was mirrored in the window pane, and I imagined another lamp outside. So if you can see, there's a doppelganger menorah there. Okay, I'm just going to turn the page here. Did I turn 2 pages? I did. Oops, here we go. My wife, Esther, was frying, you should pardon the expression, potato pancakes. I sat with my son, David, at a table and played dreidel with him. So there you have the prototypical old-school Jewish couple, wife in the kitchen doing wifely things on very sensible shoes, Jewish guy, balding, probably an accountant, playing dreidel. They got the money there, teaching the kid gambling, and there's a kid with good kind of red hair. He's sort of one of the ginger people there. Very, very nice. And then what happens? Suddenly, David cried out, "Look, Papa, look!" And he pointed to the window. I looked up and saw something that seemed unbelievable. It was CNN, and Trump had just done something else. No, outside on the windowsill stood a yellow-green bird watching the candles. In a moment, I understood what had happened. A parakeet had escaped from its home somewhere, had flown into the cold street, and landed on my windowsill, perhaps attracted by the light. See, a little bird, little candles, kind of like a moth going to the flame, if you will. A parakeet is native to a warm climate. It cannot stand the cold and frost for very long. So I immediately took steps to save the bird from freezing. First, I carried away the Chanukah lamp so the bird would not burn itself when trying to enter. All right, you know what? Already I'm calling shenanigans on this, only because if you have ever tried to move a lit menorah with those thin candles in it and the things that are just like this and this, you cannot, there are going to be candles falling all over the place and setting the house on fire. You cannot do it. You move one thing and two candles fall over. You put it back, the other candles fall over. Then you got to take the candle, you got to burn the bottom of it so it doesn't. No. I mean, okay, it's fiction. It's children's fiction. But no. Okay. Then I opened the window and with a quick wave of my hand, shooed the parakeet inside, which really is not going to work either because, first of all, you're going to open the window, the parakeet's going to fly the fuck away. It doesn't know what the hell you're doing. It doesn't know a human. Well, it knows its owner humans, I guess, but it's going to be like, oh, window open. I know what a window is. This thing's opening. There's crazy humans there. He's waving his hand. Bird's going to fly a mile away. It's not going to fly indoors, but who knows? The whole thing took only a few seconds, and in comes the bird. In the beginning, the frightened bird flew from wall to wall. It hit itself against the ceiling and for a while hung from a crystal prism on the chandelier. So, okay, we know this bird has some interesting, shall we say, learning disability problems? We shall say that. The bird has interesting learning disability problems. David, my son, tried to calm it. Don't be afraid, little bird. We are your friends. Presently, the bird flew toward David and landed on his head. As though it had been trained and was accustomed to people, David began to laugh and dance with joy. That is until, of course, remember this is a frightened bird, right? And it's now on the kid's head. How long before parakeet poop starts dribbling out of the bird's tuchus down David's nose and onto his face and shirt? Just moments. We're moments away from a horrifying disaster and perhaps a tetanus shot. My wife in the kitchen heard the noise and came out to see what had happened. When she saw the bird on David's head, she asked, "Where'd you get a bird all of a sudden?" I like that she has such a Jewish way of speaking. And they, "No, where did you get a bird all of a sudden? Where? What?" And of course, asking a question to answer a question. "Mama, it just came to our window." "To the window in the middle of the winter?" The woman says. "Papa saved its life." The bird was not afraid of us. David lifted his hand to his forehead, and the bird settled on his finger. Esther placed a saucer of millet. And who has millet? What family that does not own a bird, or presumably any animal for that matter, who just, I'll go in the closet near the cornflakes and the dietetic cookies. Let me find the millet bag. Somehow, let me get some millet for the bird. Esther placed a saucer of millet and a dish of water on the table, and the parakeet ate and drank. It saw the dreidel and began to push it with its beak. David exclaimed, "Look, the bird plays dreidel." Very cute, very fun. Okay, nice. Okay. David soon began to talk about buying a cage for the bird and also about giving it a name. But Esther and I reminded him that the bird was not ours. We would try to find the owners who probably missed their pet and were worried about what had happened to it in the icy weather. David said, "Meanwhile, let's call it Dreidel." Very nice. Okay. That night, Dreidel slept on a picture frame and woke us in the morning with it singing. Yabba-day, dabba-da-da-day, dum, yabba-da-da-day. It's a bird that whistles. Got a boy that whistles, got a boy that sings, got a boy that whistles, and everything. The bird stood on the frame, its plumage brilliant in the purple light of the rising sun, shaking as in prayer, whistling, twittering, and talking all at the same time. Parakeet must have belonged to a house where Yiddish was spoken, because we heard it say, "Zeldele, get schlafen," Zeldele, go to sleep. And these simple words uttered by the tiny creatures filled us with wonder and delight. It is Brooklyn. It is very likely it came from a Hamish and from family. The next day, I posted a notice in the elevators of the neighborhood houses. It said that we have found a Yiddish-speaking parakeet Well, that's a pretty nice poster to do up in a day, especially that this was copyright in 1980 before you could really get like the Jewish font off the internet and things, but very, very nice. Look at that. When a few days passed and no one called, I advertised in the newspaper, the newspaper for which I wrote. Of course, as a Jewish journalist, but a week went by and no one claimed the bird. Only then did Dreidel become ours. Could be the backstory that the owners of Dreidel, which were this obviously old Jewish couple, were asphyxiated with carbon monoxide poisoning, and there they are slowly dying in their little apartment, but we won't go there. Don't need to go there. We bought a large cage with all the fittings and toys that a bird might want, because Chanukah is a festival of freedom. We resolved never to lock the cage. Dreidel was free to fly around the house whenever he pleased. In fact, the man at the pet shop had told us that the bird was a male, so that's how we know he. This is obviously written before everything became a they. No, it's a bird. It's a he. It doesn't have a dick. It's a he. Or it does have a dick. Whatever. 9 years passed, my God. And Dreidel remained with us. We became more... I don't know why I keep scratching my nose. I've got an itch that is just not... Okay. Dreidel remained with us, and we became more attached to him from day to day. Look at the kid growing. Look at this. This is so nice. There's all these pictures of the kid being a kid, playing violin, as so many Jewish children do, painting, doing the thing. That's horrifying. And then, oh boy, I wonder if this is going to go like 9 years. I mean, parakeets and things, they live, and they live, and they live. So he might outlive the dad here, who's gone completely bald, if you notice that in that shot. So the passage of time, I hope this doesn't have a sad ending here. In our house, Dreidel learned scores of Yiddish, English, and Hebrew words. David taught him to sing a Hanukkah song, and there was always a wooden Dreidel in the cage for him to play with. When I wrote on my Yiddish typewriter, this explains how I could do the poster, Dreidel would cling to the index finger of either my right or my left hand, jumping acrobatically with every letter that I wrote. My wife Esther often joked that Dreidel was helping me write, and only a Jew would think of this, and that Dreidel was entitled to half my earnings. This is good. At least the bird doesn't have an agent, which would be another 15%. Our son David grew up and entered college. One winter night, he went to a Chanukah party. He told us he would be home late, and Esther and I went to bed early. We'd just fallen asleep when the telephone rang. Here's worried Jewish parents, although it still has more hair than the other thing. The telephone rang. It was David. Now, as a rule, he's a quiet and composed young man. This time he spoke so excitedly we could barely understand what he was saying. It seemed that David had told the story of our parakeet. There's a parakeet in the background. You ain't just whistling Dixie there. So the son of the family, David, is now at a party, a Chanukah party.
Tell me more about the accountant.
So David is with girls. See, he's already old enough that the girls have little boobies. So he's having fun, but he's calling the parents excitedly. He warned them he'd be home late.
Is the parakeet a snitch?
Well, the parakeet is home with the parents. I don't know what this has to do. Oh, you kind of knew this was coming.
What?
And maybe the girl is coming too later in the party. But a girl named Zelda Rosen exclaimed, "I am that Zeldele. We lost our parakeet 9 years ago."
Whoa.
Zelda and her parents lived not far from us, but they had never seen the notice in the newspaper or the ones we posted in the elevators. Zelda was now a student and a friend of David's. She smelled David's fingers. We know what kind of friend she was. She never visited us before, although our son spoke often about her to his mother. Hold it. We slept little that night. The next day, Zelda and her parents came to see their long-lost pet. Zelda was a beautiful and gifted girl. See, they're all crying because they got to say goodbye to the bird. David often took her to the theater and to museums. This is my kind of book here. And he told her, look, I'm going to bring you to the theater, but don't date me for theater tickets. It's an in joke right there. Not only did the Rosens recognize their bird, but the bird seemed to even recognize his former owners. See, the bird, even the bird is crying. There you go. The Rosens used to call him Sip Sip. You know, a bird is a Sipporah in Hebrew. And when the parakeet heard them say Sip Sip, he became flustered and started to fly from one member of the family to the other, screeching and flapping his wings. No wonder they let him go. Like, the father's like, oh, great, the fucking bird's back. Oh, great, good. Remember when he used to wake up for supper at 4 a.m? And he'd be shiggled on the kitchen table? Yeah, right. Great. Both Zelda and her mother cried when they saw their beloved bird alive. The father stared silently, and then he said, we have never forgotten our Sip Sip. I was ready. I was ready to return the parakeet to his original owners, but Esther and David argued that they could never part with Dreidel. So it was not. Excuse me. Pardon me. I need a soothing beverage. So, Esther, the wife, and David, the son, argued they could never part with Dreidel. It was also not necessary because that day, David and Zelda decided to get married after their graduation from college. Oh, mit mazel. So, Dreidel is still with us, always eager to learn new words and new games. When David and Zelda marry, it's a very Chagalian look at marriage there, they will take Dreidel to their new home. Zelda has often said that Dreidel was our matchmaker, which is not really true because he knew this. Wait, hold it. Growing up Zelda Rosen. I thought he was friends already with a girl. Or maybe not. I don't know the timeline on this. If he knew her before the party or during the party or after the party, met her at the party. Somehow, all right, Dreidel's a matchmaker. I don't get it. Or maybe it is. So, there's a little bit more on Chanukah. Dreidel always gets a gift. Aww. Perhaps a mirror, a swing, a ladder, a bathtub, a set of encyclopedias. No, he has even developed a taste. For potato pancake. I'm sorry. It was such a good book until this shit. I know, potato. I'm sorry. As befits a parakeet named Dreidel. Here he is. He's very cool. He's actually a very cool bird. I think that's it. As befits a parakeet named Dreidel. And then, this is totally Chagall right here. This is, so you see them with the bird, with the Dreidel, with the houses, and then the little. There's a horrible fire that this is causing. That's burning the Hollywood Hills. So probably there's all the smoke. And that will take care of Isaac Bashevis Singer's lovely story, The Parakeet Named Dreidel. Well, I am a rabbi named Sol Solomon. You can find out more about me at my website, shalomdammit.com. Shalom, damn it, D-A-M-M-I-T, shalomdammit.com. This is where you can listen to and hear and read my rabbinical reflections. You can also see my TV show that I did for a bunch of years, 1 year on cable. It's called Rabbi Sol Solomon's Peace, Love, and Acid Reflux Hour. And, of course, my stage show, Shalom Damn It, An Evening with Me, which was taped off Broadway and is wonderfully watchable and funny and irritating, all the wonderful things that I tend to be. So, in this miserable, at the same time, kind of wonderful week here in the world, and it is Chanukah. We're still here. They can try and kill us in Bondi Beach in Australia. You know, they can try and do away with us here and there and everywhere. They can protest us. They can do what we're still fucking here. And we're going to be here and stay here, like it or not. And Israel will stay and be here, like it or not. I happen to like it. That's my thing. I'm like, you know, we're going to get through all of this. And more horrible things will happen. More terrible and ridiculous and stupid and hateful things will happen in 2026. You have my word on that. But we'll get through that too. Unless we don't. Some of us are going to die. You know, this also happens. But this is as optimistic as I can get. Okay? We will, if you don't die, you will survive whatever miserable things happen over the next 12 and a half months. You'll get through this Chanukah holiday. We'll get to Pesach. We'll get to another Jewish New Year. We'll get to another Yom Kippur where we'll all starve and be miserable with each other and smell bad. We will do it. We will do it and keep doing it as our ancestors and forefathers and foremothers and 5 mothers and 6 mothers were doing decades and centuries ago. So, you know, when you light that candle, that 7th candle tonight, just remember, it's for the people that we've lost, the people that we're going to lose, but the people that are still with us. And you know what? Do a little, I never in my life thought I would say this. But when you light that candle, say a little happy prayer for a guy named Ahmed al-Ahmed. Right? Who would think Ahmed al-Ahmed, an Arab, presumably a Muslim, who went beyond himself in terms of bravery, in terms of courage, in terms of basic decency. But even when, no, this is more than basic decency. Maybe you still can be a decent person, see a man with a machine gun and run the other way. He saw a man with a repeating assault rifle and said, I think I can sneak up on him and disarm him. I think I can do it. I'm a Marine or whatever he was. He was in the force. He was what? Elite forces? Oh, he was in the police. So he goes on Bondi Beach, he finds this guy, tackles this fella, right? Disarms him. Unfortunately, doesn't shoot him, but he's holding the gun. He's waving to police. I'm putting the gun. The police shoot him anyway. They shoot him 4 times in the fucking shoulder. His arm's probably going to come off. But because police see, a Muslim with a gun, he must be one of the bad guys, right? No, wrong. He is amazingly one of the great guys, one of the good guys. So, you know, I can be tremendously, as you know, over the years, fearful of Arabs and Islamophobic and make fun and say this about the radicals and the Muslims and you know, once in a while, and maybe twice in a while, you get an Ahmed al-Ahmed. And I will still make fun of his name, but I will absolutely praise him to the sky. Come on, Ahmed al-Ahmed. What the fuck? It's like calling myself Isaac El Isaac. I mean, it's like, you know, we do it, Ben, do it, right? But it's still, it's nutty. I mean, come on, name yourself, you know, Ahmed Kalapaguch. Oh, fine, no, Ahmed al-Ahmed, whatever. Whoever, he can call himself, you know, Teresa McGloogle if he wants to. He can change his name to anything. He will still be a beautiful, beautiful, brave person for what he did on that beach a week ago. And, you know, we wish a recovery to the 40 other people who didn't die on Bondi Beach in Australia. We wish, you know, only good things going forward for the rest of the year into next. So this is Rabbi Sol Solomon on the Dave's Gone By show. I'm gonna throw it back to Dave for the rest of this program on this Shabbos, December 20th, 2025. Light those candles, spin those dreidels, and I will see you probably next week. So I'll see you very soon. And Shalom Uvra. I'm vamping here till I get to my music here. Let's do some klezmer! Welcome back, everybody. Not that you went away. You've been here. I've been here. Kind of. I've been watching Rabbi Sol from the wings. But we're back with more live, wonderful material on this 1012th episode of The Dave's Gone By. Facebookio, Podcastio, Programmio of the stream. So what do we still have to do? We have our My Sick Mind segment where, I can't help myself. I wrote a bunch of jokes about the Reiners. I'll show them again. Oh, I can do a Bunion watch before we also get to our Colorado Limerick and our friends of the Daverhood. So, last week, in the past week or two, depending on the moment, depending on the day, my feet are fine. They feel fine. And yet every once in a blue moon, I'll step the wrong way, or I'll just be wiggling my toes around, which I guess I shouldn't do. And I'll feel like something like not very nice around my left foot bunion. I'll be like, everything's fine, and then I'll walk and I'll go, ooh, what's happening there? And then it'll go away. It's nothing. It's just one of the things about the way my foot is shaped. But I do share my bunions with you. I want you to see, the person that you're talking to. This segment started already, I can't believe 3.5 years ago, we did our first Bunion watch when I started teaching. And, or maybe, it was 3.5 years ago. And since then, every week or most weeks, I try and show you, hey, how are my bunions looking? Today it's going to be a little different because we're going to show them to you in my special Chanukah socks. So here, let me play the our Bunion watch theme, such as it is, public domain too. Well, I don't really have corns and bunions on each toe. I just have bunions on both my left and right foot. And it's interesting. My right foot is the bigger, more prominent bunion, but the left one is the one that has given me, in various different ways, more problematic issues. So let me throw this down here so I can bring my foot up on the table here and share with you, first of all, let me show you the bunion that's been giving me some discomfort over the past week or so. Notice my Chanukah pants, Chanukah jammy pants.
Just lower the table.
Oh, that doesn't always work, but here you can kind of see look at that. These socks make my foot look almost normal. You can barely see the bunion, no matter how I turn it.
Wow, yeah.
It's like, the socks are so thick and plushy that, and you can see the menorah on there, that my bunion, I should wear these all the time.
Yeah.
Because they slimline my bunions. Let me try it on the right foot, which is the physically bigger bunion. You can still see it, but it's not. Look, I'll pull there it is. So you can see a little bit of the curvature. Why, thank you. Looking good. Looking good. So, right now my bunions feel absolutely fine, and as you can see, they look sensational in my Chanukah socks. This is, forget the 8 days, 8 nights, the miracle of Chanukah is that these socks reduce the prominence of my bunion, because my regular socks that I wear, my white socks, they make my bunions look bigger, which is kind of weird. They're tight on my foot, so you can, the curvature, the roundness.
For your ankles too, they're not so pressy. You should wear them all the time.
I do, but there's always a but with me. I'm sitting on it. They're great. These are great on carpet. When you wear them on wooden floor, they not only stick, but they feel weird. You feel like you're walking on sort of half gelatinous, kind of plasticky.
Yeah, I get it.
Don't like it. On carpet, they're great. On floors, they're not. But the visual, I mean, they're friggin' Chanukah socks. What's not to love? Yeah. Anywho, so it is a little after 11:30 in the morning Eastern time. Do you have any thoughts? I know you probably don't want to talk about this, but any thoughts on Rob and Michelle Reiner?
No.
I mean, it's it happened within the same time span as the Bondi Beach thing. So the initial thought was, oh my God, and that's it. That's how the pogrom. It was like all over the world, Jews are being targeted now. And then it took not very long time. I mean, when your sister is the one who tells the cops, yeah, I get the feeling that the person who did this is not a stranger and not some, anti-Semitic lunatic or some right-wing conservative lunatic who hates Rob Reiner for all the things that he tweeted and said about Donald Trump. No, it's my bro. That's quite a family right there. It makes you wonder. Feel bad for the entire family, not just because of this that just happened last week, but you have to wonder about all the family gatherings growing up, every morning at the breakfast table, every evening when they had dinner together, of like wondering what's going to set the Looney Tune. They knew he was nuts. They knew he was a problem. They didn't know he was homicidal, apparently. And now, whether this is real news or not, the Post or places are reporting that he had changed his meds a few weeks earlier to control his schizophrenia, psychosis, or whatever the hell he had. And suddenly, I guess the new meds weren't working as well as the old ones, right? Just unbelievable. And it's also easy to forget Rob Reiner being as major a director and an entertaining and commercially successful director as he was. We first, of course, knew him as an actor in All in the Family. And he was perfect as the son-in-law, as Meathead. The best parts of All in the Family, for the most part, as great as Gene Stapleton was, as fine as Sally Struthers was as the daughter, as the storylines and the Norman Lear things, it was, in the early 1970s, Archie, conservative, war veteran, old school, bigoted stereotype Archie going up against Rob Reiner's post-hippie, incredibly left-wing, incredibly voluble, just going at each other over issues of the day, which TV comedies never did, which sitcoms totally steered away from, whether they were as light as Leave It to Beaver or as more real, quote-unquote, as like the Dick Van Dyke Show, which Carl Reiner, of course, created. But, it was wonderful stuff and beautifully played by both of those actors. And then Reiner went on not to just be an actor, but to be a major and for about 10 years. He was one of the most successful directors out there, barring maybe Spielberg and Ron Howard. Think of it. Think of the movies that this guy made. Starting with This Is Spinal Tap. People think it's a Christopher Guest film. It was not. It was the gang that became the core of some of the Christopher Guest films. But Reiner was the director. He was the beginner, the creator on this idea of a mockumentary film with some improv. And it's still one of the great comedies of the past bunches of years. And then instead of making more of those and falling into that genre, of course, he made Stand By Me, he made Misery, I know, this is a Stephen King-y kind of a thriller. He also did When Harry Met Sally, which has become something of a beloved rom-com classic, right? He did A Few Good Men. People don't even remember that one. What else did he do? He just did a number. Unfortunately, I'm forgetting one or two of the movies that really endeared us to Rob Reiner and his work. And then it was one of those things, he just kind of lost the touch, or lost the commercial touch, and lost the critical acclaim. Oh, he did The Princess Bride, right? He lost that thing, and then
Give a list of Rob Reiner's movies.
So see, in the 1980s, he could do no wrong. And then from the 90s on, he basically did everything wrong. So Princess Bride, Stand By Me.
Early, right?
Sorry, what?
I think it goes reverse chronological.
No, this is chronological. This is going from
good.
early. So Misery, A Few Good Men, The American President, which actually did pretty well. Ghosts of Mississippi, which, one of those drama things. But it's kind of like you don't really know most of his movies, or maybe have not even heard of most of his movies post-1995, which is, you know, he kept doing it. He kept and getting the money to do it, and a successful director, but it just, you know, Rotten Tomatoes giving all these movies like 20 or 30%. The critics not really saying it. He just, to the point where this, you know, because about a month or two ago, when I would be on Facebook or social media, constant advertisements, promos, video clips for the return of Spinal Tap.
Oh, wow.
There was a sequel made to This Is Spinal Tap. What, sorry?
He did it?
Yeah. Rob Reiner directed 25 or it's like 30 something years later, a regrouping.
The actors.
Michael McCain.
Oh, wow.
The three guys, they're still there. The guy from The Simpsons, Harry Shearer, and Christopher Guest.
Was it released?
That was the thing. They were promoting it, and the guys were going on radio and TV, and you see the feed of like Spinal Tap 2, Spinal Tap, coming back, new Spinal Tap, and then vanished. And just literally, I'm not kidding, a week and a half ago, it occurred to me to check and be like, hey, whatever happened to the Spinal Tap movie? You know, I was really curious about it. Is it still coming as a Christmas release? What happened? It came, it went. It like made $1.5 million at the box office.
It was released?
It was released.
Oh, okay.
Huge flop. Not that it was a terribly expensive movie. Nobody, I mean, the critics were like, it's okay. It's nice to see them again. Audiences just, I think they passed the moment when people who loved the first movie would you know, go and see it. They're waiting for it to come out on Netflix or something. I don't know.
That's sad.
But, you know, this is a Rob Reiner film. It was a regrouping of folks from one of the most beloved comedies ever made, and it just, in a flash, came in. And they're even awaiting, the guys did a concert together. And there's going to be another final Spinal Tap movie called Spinal Tap Stonehenge, or something like that, which is in the cutting room. It's in the process of being put together and released. It was going to be released at like the end of the year or in 2026. And so that's out there from Reiner too.
I think the saddest part I read on the social media that I'll show you.
Oh, yeah, on my phone. Yeah.
Give me a second.
But it just goes to show, it's like, wow.
Conan O'Brien party, Rob Reiner's son, 911.
Yeah. And apparently, one of the sad parts about this is that they had gone to a party at the home of Conan O'Brien, who's, you know, all these people are friends out there in L.A. Hollywood land, and allegedly, according to page 6, so one assumes the New York Post is doing its fact-checking. This is not fake news. Conan O'Brien stopped guests from calling 911 on Nick Reiner. Nick was being very weird at the party with his family. You know, the Reiners were invited to Conan's holiday party.
Okay.
And Nick apparently just going up to all these people and says, are you famous? You're a celebrity? Are you well known? Do I know you? Should I know you? Are you well known? He's just like being really freaking weird. And it gets getting scarier and scarier to the point where the kid got in an argument with his dad, Rob. Got so bad and so loud, someone went to call the police to report it.
Wow.
And then Conan stepped in and said, hey, it's my house, my party. I'm not calling the police, and stopped them from doing so.
Wow.
Oh, well. Whether that meant, you know, what that would have meant. I don't know if it would have changed anything.
Can I see?
Yeah. But obviously Nick had his issues. If he, why couldn't Mandy Patinkin have a kid like that? You know, I'm just saying. Still, speaking of jokes, let's I did this. I do this, and I don't know if it's as easy as saying, well, we get through tragedy and tears through making jokes. It's the only way. It's the way we cope. Yes, it is the way we cope, but also comedy. It's like weeds. Comedy will grow through anything. It will grow through Civil War. It will grow through the Holocaust. It will grow through, you know, the Bondi Beach. Comedy is going to have to. It's going to put up its roots and shoot through anything, whether or not there's a psychological thing of making you feel better or getting you through the hard times because you're making funny about it. I just make funny about it because comedy is the God that I serve. So, like it or not, you probably won't like it. This is a segment I've done somewhat infrequently called My Sick Mind, and I have a bunch of jokes, and it does help if you know some Rob Reiner film titles, to get, or at least nod your head or shake your head at these jokes about the Reiners from My Sick Mind.
My sick, my sick, my sick, my sick, my sick mind.
Well, talk about bad taste.
My sick, my sick, my sick, my sick, my sick mind.
You sick little monkey.
So yes, I have a sick mind. I own up to it. I've had it since I was a child, ladies and gentlemen. So here are some jokes. If you don't want to hear them, come back in 2 minutes. If you do want to hear them, be warned. This is my sick mind. Hey, did working in Hollywood get any easier for Rob Reiner? No, at the end it was cutthroat. Yeah, that's what we're talking about here. Hey, how were the Reiner murders kept? All in the family. Hey, what is Nick Reiner's favorite Christian hymn? Stab at Mater. Yeah, because he stabbed both his mom and dad. Okay, what did Rod Reiner's headstone say to Michelle Reiner's headstone? Stand by me. This is where we get the ones that are based on film titles here. What was the Reiner family Chanukah filled with? Misery! Did they find pallbearers for the Reiners? A few good men. I'll do the drum roll here. Hey, what's the most important project Rob Reiner will never finish? The bucket list. Uh-oh. There we go. The bucket list. See, there's the name of one of his movies. Okay. What happened to Nick Reiner? Flipped. Yes, that's one of those Rob Reiner movies you've never heard of. How did Rob Reiner respond to the first knife going in? Shock and awe. That's another Rob Reiner movie you've never heard of. Hey, were Rob and Michelle Reiner killed on a soundstage? No, the cutting room. I can get some more audio here. Let's try this. What films should Rob Reiner have directed? To Live and Die in L.A., There Will Be Blood, and The Departed. Couple more. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. What Beatles song could have served as a warning to the Reiners? Well, Here Comes the Sun. I like that one. Gotta give it up for that one. Here's one. Hey, does Nick Reiner have a sense of humor? Oh, yeah, he's a cut-up. Did you hear? The Reiner's last TV appearance was on a cooking show. Chopped. If cavemen belonged in the Stone Age and artists belonged in the Bronze Age, where does Nick Reiner belong? The orphanage. That was clever. Gotta give that one. That was clever. And then finally, and don't you think, not soon enough, was Rob Reiner close with his son Nick? Well, sort of. They were best bloodies. Ladies and gentlemen, that was My Sick Mind. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is 10 to noon Eastern Time here in the Daverhood. On the 1012th episode of the Dave's Gone By show, we've been calling it Release the Kareken because of our beloved new friend of the Daverhood, Jeremy Kareken. Remember that you can go to jeremykareken.com to find out all about his plays, his writings, his teachings, and let's hope that they can bring at some point Lifespan of a Fact to London and also maybe back to New York or Maryland where I can get a chance to see it or enjoy it too. But anyway, thank you so much to Jeremy for being with us in the Daverhood and also talking to the great Rabbi Sol Solomon. Find out more about him at shalomdammit.com. Shalom, D-A-M-M-I-T, shalomdammit.com. But these are not the only people who have visited us on this program, the Dave's Gone By Show. Certainly not over the past 24 and a half years. We've had bunches, hundreds, literally hundreds of guests who have taken their time and their energy and brought it to us in the Daverhood. And that's why we honor them and we keep tabs on what they've been up to. Our friends and alumni of the Daverhood. So just going to tell you like where you can see and read and hear some of the folks who've been on this program over the years. For example, I want to say congratulations to Judy Mark, the cabaret singer. She is a Broadway World Award nominee for her Gwen Verdon tribute show, Merely Marvelous. So fingers crossed for Judy Mark. And, I want to express our condolences to writer, theater critic Samuel L. Leiter. His daughter-in-law died from early onset dementia. So, tough time for him, tough year for so many people. And then, let's see, tomorrow, Sunday, December 21st, Quinn Lemley is doing a release party for her album Rita Hayworth Revealed, and that is happening at the Triad Theater up on West 72nd Street in Manhattan, Quinn Lemley. And then same day at 6 p.m. tomorrow, Gary Morgenstein is doing a live Zoom reading with actors and things of his new satire, AOC and the Untold Story of the 2028 Election, Part 1. If you can remember the title, you can find the Zoom link for Gary Morgenstein's play being read on Zoom tomorrow evening at 6. And then also tomorrow, if you're in New York, go to The Pit in Midtown for the improv musical Wayfaring Strangers, which is co-created and written and featuring our friends Ian Halliday and Greg Cotis. That is tomorrow at The Pit. And then playing for a varying schedule at Pangea from tomorrow for the following week, it's Sidney Meyer. He was kind of the booker and things for Don't Tell Mama for so many years. Now he's living his best life as a cabaret performer and persona and MC. Sidney Meyer at Pangea. Check Pangea's schedule for when he's doing his shows. And then on Tuesday, December 23rd, oh wow, I really wish I could see this. Robin Hitchcock is going to be in Bearsville, up at Woodstock. He is doing Bob Dylan's John Wesley Harding LP. I assume he's doing the whole album as well as other Dylan songs. He's done this. Robin Hitchcock actually released an album of Dylan's entire Manchester set, the famous Judas set, and he's done a ton of Bob Dylan covers. So yay, if you want to hear Robin Hitchcock do John Wesley Harding, get up to Bearsville in Woodstock, and that is on Tuesday night. Thursday and Friday, the 24th and 25th, Marcus Goldhaber is at a restaurant or club called Faina on West 18th Street. Never heard of it, but we've certainly heard of Marcus Goldhaber on this program. And then on the 25th, Friday, was it Thursday or Friday? Hold on, I always get these things, 2, 3, 4, 5, so it's Thursday, excuse me. Thursday, David Broza is going to be doing the Not Exactly Christmas show at City Winery. He's doing 2 performances on Thursday at 3:30 and also at 7:30 in the evening at City Winery. It's weird they can be doing it on a Thursday. Either I got the day wrong or I got the date wrong, so you might want to check that out for David Broza, Broza. Now through the middle of, I mean, it is the middle of December, but now through Monday only. Karen Mason is doing her show Christmas, Christmas, Christmas at the Green Room 42 in Manhattan. Evan Seplow is the founder and editor of StageBuddy.com. Vicky Quaggy does her shows about nuns and various other Catholic kind of things at various theaters in the Chicagoland area. David Sheward writes theater reviews for TotalTheater.com. David Kenny is the host of the WBAI radio show Everything Old is New Again on Sunday nights. Darren DeVivo does his new show Noises from the Valley on WKZE radio Friday nights. And then Eva Heineman is the host of High Drama, a theater review show on YouTube and on Facebook. And those, my friends, are the friends of the Daverhood. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the friends of the Daverhood on Dave's Gone By. We're a couple of minutes from noon, so we're going to go just a little bit over time, but not too much. I do also, we've done so much of everything. We've done the friends of the Daverhood. We've had Rabbi Sol and Jeremy Kareken. We've had our Chanukah story from Isaac Bashevis Singer and the Rabbi. We talked about the Reiners. We did all sorts of things. What could possibly lie ahead of us? Well, yes. If you thought that the My Sick Mind segment was in bad taste and sick and awful, which of course it was, we do have our weekly Colorado Limerick of the Damned, ladies and gentlemen. Because since my wife and I lived in Colorado for more than a decade, I took it into my brain head to write a poem, a tiny 5-line poem, about as many places in the beautiful state of Colorado as I possibly could. So I've been doing that. I've got well over 300 of them, and I keep trying to come up with a new one every week. And I have one! Ooh-hoo! And today we go to Cherry Knolls. Last week we went to Cherry Creek. This time it's Cherry Knolls, Colorado. I'm going to tell you a little bit about it, and then I will read you my poem, my limerick.
A limerick is a comic verse of 5 lines, in which lines 1, 2, and 5 will end with words that rhyme, and likewise verses 3 and 4 also end with words that rhyme. So this is a limerick.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we go to Colorado, Rago, for a limerick about a little place called Cherry Knolls, which is a neighborhood. It's in the Centennial area, and incorporate. I mean, this is a recent one. So many of the places that we go to were founded in like the 1860s and 70s as mining towns, and then they're ghost towns by 1920. This wasn't even founded until 1960. It was just incorporated into a neighborhood only about 60 years ago. Back then, it was mostly swampy sheep pastures and ranches with horses on them. But then 15 builders came in and said, hey, this would be a good place to build a real neighborhood. And they built homes and swimming pools and tennis courts. Basically, in a 20-year period, they took marsh and swamp and grazing land and turned it into a ritzy-titsy Colorado suburban, ex-urban, place to go to. Their December 14th Winterfest included a live band, food truck, mulled wine, Santa and the Cookie Exchange, and I can't believe we missed this, they did a Dreidel game. Isn't that wonderful? At Cherry Knolls, Colorado. Now it is what they call a tight-knit suburb, the quotes are theirs, not mine, touting their school district and that we have, quote, a 90-year-old newsletter carrier. So there's a certain point of pride, a place of kind of like, there's a wink there, of like, we're a tight, don't need any outsiders, not too many folks from other ethnicities. We're quite happy here in our little enclave in Cherry Knolls, Colorado. Well, I'm just going to intrude momentarily on their fun. I do appreciate that I had a Dreidel game, but I do have to read a poem that I wrote about Cherry Knolls, Colorado, for our Colorado Limerick of the Damned. A shoemaker from Cherry Knolls would offer a free pair of soles to any young chick who'd ride on his dick and give up all 3 of her holes. Of course, you're going to want to send your comments, complaints to davesgoneby@aol.com. Davesgoneby, like my name with a B in there. davesgoneby@aol.com. You can also post your messages right on my Facebook page, either under one of my shows or direct message me. Either way, I love to get your thumbs up, your thumbs down, your comments, your suggestions. davesgoneby@aol.com. Please also remember that our regular homepage, davesgoneby.com, is the place to see and hear our entire 24 plus years of archives. From the very first early radio shows we were doing back in 2002, all the way up to all the shows that we've done this year that have been video, as we have for the past 7 years or so. They're all there for free. You can skim them, you can download them, you can, see the parts that you want to watch and skip over the stuff you don't. All at davesgoneby.com. Plus, we also post our shows and our interviews separately at archive.org. We have a channel there. Just look for us, archive.org. Every episode we've ever done, audio and video, and every interview are there. Plus, we put all our audio archives at castbox.fm. That is really for traveling. It's for podcasting. So if you are at the gym, or if you are at, on a plane, on a train, driving, and you can't look at me and the show, but you want to listen, you totally can. Just go to castbox.fm and download the podcast to whatever device you listen to your podcasts on. We have a YouTube page, Dave's Gone By, but it's really the same material you're going to get on our website. We have our Facebook page, which is where you watch us live every Saturday morning from 9 until noonish or thereabouts. But again, the place to really, really start is davesgoneby.com and our Facebook page. And we thank you so much for watching. Want to remind you also that if you want to read me, if you want to listen to me and watch me, go to davesgoneby.com. If you want to read my interviews that I've done with people, not for the show, but published in magazines, if you want to read my song lyrics, if you want to read my one-act and full-length plays, my screenplays, all of that you can find at davelefkowitz.org. Dave, like my name, Lefkowitz, Lefkowitz. Please go there, read to your heart's content. Because I had that website years ago, they did a play of mine in India, Blind Date, and they did a fantastic job. So if you have a theater company and you're looking for fun, funny one-act plays to do, just jump on davelefkowitz.org. Give the material there a look. I think you'll find something that you want to put on and share. Just as we put on and share this program every Saturday, and we expect to be here next Saturday, I guess it'll be the 27th of December, for the 1013th episode of the Dave's Gone By Facebookio Programio Podcastio of the stream. We do know who our guest is going to be. I don't want to say it because I don't want to jinx it, but we should be having a really cool interview with a singer-actor for next Saturday. And then probably the Saturday after that we will take off because we do intend to do a New Year's broadcast. I think New Year's is either Tuesday night into Wednesday or Wednesday night into Thursday of this year. And we will be, once again, live, counting down the hours from probably 10 o'clock at night up until 12:30 or 1 in the morning on December 31st. So we'll probably skip the Saturday show to do the New Year's show a couple of days later. Either that or we'll do the Saturday, do the New Year's show and skip that. Well, we'll figure it out. But certainly be here next Saturday for the 1013th episode of Dave's Gone By.
New Year's Eve is Wednesday to Thursday.
It's a Wednesday night.
Yeah.
Not next Wednesday, but the Wednesday after.
Yeah, Wednesday to Thursday.
So it just remains for me to thank you all for watching. Thank once more Jeremy Kareken for being such a fun interview. Thank you, Rabbi Sol. Thank you to my amazing, darling, wonderful, and adorable wife. I mean, so much of this year has sucked. So I do want to say, congratulations again on the bit of happy news this week. I won't say it, but, yeah, you rock. You got what you deserved in a real kind of cool way. So, I can actually smile for one of the first times this whole goddamn year as I put a smile on my face. Carry that smile with you through Chanukah and through the whole rest of the year. And we will see you, God willing, next Saturday, good Lord willing, and the creeks don't rise. And, let's see, hold on. I'll do one more dad joke if it lands on either a gimel or a hay. I'm spinning it down here. It's spinning. Here, I'll show it. Shin. No joke.
Best of three.
Best of three. Okay, here we go. Shin. It's spinning. I can't tell if that's a gimel or a nun. There's a nun.
Best of three.
Well, best of three means already it's 2 out of 3 is nothing. Oh, no, that didn't count. Didn't spin properly. Here we go. Shin. No, let's not. We're trying our luck here.
Dad joke.
All right, let's play a dad joke. Here we go. One more for the holiday.
What do you call a man with no nose and no body? Nobody knows.
All right, I think that's great. And gone by.